Buddy, welcome
Hi.
to the
Woo.
everybody's sick, angry, tired, sweaty, hot show.
Drunk. Where's
Now,
Steve?
well, maybe Timmy.
Well, I'm
Timmy
almost
is a
there.
shoe.
I'm a boot.
In a boot.
Because the
In a
rest of
boot.
it's because the five of
Das,
us have nothing else to
you're
do on a Tuesday night,
Das Boot. Das
Das Boot.
Hi.
Das.
Steve will be along as soon as he installs updates.
Well,
And
Steve
because
will be
he's
along
afraid of
as
his
soon as
computer,
he
his updates, they know he's afraid. And so they
comes out of
torture
his
him.
coma.
Thought I'd get my foot in the door.
Oh,
And
good. Look
literally.
at that. It missed.
Well, look at you.
All
Nice,
right. Edit,
shiny.
post.
Nice, shiny. Thank you,
Where
Doc
the first
Martin.
three letters went.
It's one of the
Thank
damn
you.
best spit shines I've
Oh,
ever
now
seen.
there's 500 letters.
Thanks. I
Maybe
got
I
this.
can have
Thank you,
yes,
Doc Martin.
those letters.
I got this. These from a Transforma where I turned Tracy and Rob into a pair of boots.
I thought you were going to say you got them from a transvestite. I'm sorry.
A what?
I thought you got. I thought you were going to say you got them from a transvestite. I'm sorry.
A Tristan Sidon?
Transvestite. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Move on.
No, they're the
move
wrong
on,
color for that, Allie.
Move on. Move on.
Oh,
Sorry. Ignore me.
we know that.
Everybody's leaving. All right.
Well, that was our show.
Yay.
There's. I hear crickets. I can't do it as good as Steve can, but Steve's
can't do
afraid
it
of
at
his
all as
computer, so
Steve.
he's not here. What the hell am I talking about? I'm still not on camera yet. I'm sorry.
I just got an alert on my watch here that says I'm in a loud environment. I'm trying to figure out what loud environment I'm in.
Ruh-roh.
You all get stuff on purpose that spy on you and tell government everything that
Yeah.
about you
Right.
that you
Right.
heart
They
rate.
already know, Timmy. They already
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said, why do you
don't care.
voluntarily do it?
Because I was worried that I had AFib, and it was
Ah,
either pay a doctor $250 to check, or get a watch that can perform the test for $180.
A lot cheaper.
oh,
Yeah, and it can do it whenever I want, and
So
I don't
are
have
you?
it.
yeah.
You're not dying. That's
No,
good.
well, at
I'm
the
the only one.
at the standard rate.
I'm
Okay.
the only one. I'm the only one who thought they were dying in the past 2 weeks.
Well, that's true, and I can understand that having had COVID. I understand.
No,
My
I
lawnmower
walked.
died today.
Oh, thank you. God.
No.
I got one for you. Got you a new one for you.
Ah,
Thanks. I actually I just need to do some cleaning on it. I haven't cleaned it in like 3 or 4 years, so it's
Oh,
time to
Probably
take a few
time.
things apart.
I don't have a lawnmower.
I have to do that with my
Yeah.
vacuum.
I just finally gave up on vacuums. I just done with it. I just get I get carpets, not even carpets. I get rugs that are small enough to put in the washer.
yeah. Or just
That's
throw
just-
away.
See, the problem is like both my bedrooms are carpeted. The rest of the house is tile. But here's the thing: I wish I had tile throughout the house. However, the people who lived here prior to me were Haitian voodoo practitioners, and they set the carpets on fire.
Of course they did.
So
course they did.
I get to pay extra money every month more than the other tenants because they had to replace the carpets because of the Asian voodoo practitioners. But
Oh,
You
we
gotta
I
pay
thought you said
for them.
Haitian.
they are Haitian. They were
That
Haitian.
like we used to our old boss used to have a rental house that was occupied by a Haitian all-female prostitute ring.
Oh, whoa!
And they'd go in there and they'd be like showering with the curtain open, hoping that to advertise and stuff.
No, these were just Haitian voodoo practitioners. And after they moved out, for about 3 months, maybe longer, every once in a while I would have these Seventh-day Adventists knocking at the door with pamphlets. It's like, bonjour, they're not here anymore. I'm
Ah.
sorry. Oh my God.
And then they wanted to talk to you.
They want to talk to me. It's like, bonjour, because I know about 2 inches of French. So
Okay.
I said bonjour, and their eyes lit up. It's like, oh, oui, en français. It's like petit peu.
What did she?
Means about 2
I always,
inches.
I always wanted to, when you'd see them coming down the street, back when we lived in like Aurora, you could see down the streets. You could see them, all get out of the car at the end of the corner and start walking down the
Oh
road.
God.
Just light up all candles in the house, get a black robe on, put a, pentagram medal on, and then open the door and happen to go, oh yes, please come in, tell us more,
No, I
I
don't
just
feel
answer the
like
door
it.
in the buff. Well, it's easier. Hey, what's the matter with your mower, darn?
I have two. I bought an electric one so my Husky doesn't get used. I
Oh,
left
when
it
you
out in I left it out in the rain one day and I had a hard time starting it after, but I don't know. I don't imagine that's a permanent thing. Probably just drain the carb bowl and it'll start up.
probably
It's a good one. Other than that, I just don't have room for it. So I was
Well,
going to jump.
Tip it.
don't
Swap.
junk it, sell it. You're gonna need to sell stuff now that you're retired and on a fixed income.
Well, you see, one way of saying it is sell stuff. The other way is get scammed.
I give things to Barb and she sells it on her eBay, and I just let her keep half of it or sometimes all of it, depending on what I'm getting rid of. Anyway, next week, Darren and I are going to go to a cruise meeting, and then we're going to St. Augustine with Wendy Lou.
Nido
Ah.
Kino.
Uh,
That sounds like
Hey.
fun.
I think that's when me and my wife are going to St. Augustine, not this weekend, but the weekend after.
no, you should go this weekend.
I can't go this weekend.
You're planning on still feeling kind of like crap.
Yeah.
These days, guys, all the Florida people, we need to meet up somewhere, like maybe Orlando.
And we don't. The only one that doesn't live in Florida there is Tony.
Yeah.
And we just keep telling him
And,
to
and,
get a
and I
nice
might
cruise.
as
That's
well.
okay.
I might as well, as I drown in my own sweat. I might as well live in
Looks like
Florida.
Tony, we might as well pay for a flight for you to come in to Orlando and hang with us at some point whenever we decide we're not dying, working, or doing something right.
He'd have to work for
There's
the
this-
Dutch instead of the Chinese, I guess.
I
That.
suppose.
We have a new invention down here in Florida. We like to call it inside and
You're right.
air conditioning.
Yeah.
That tends to mitigate the humidity.
There you go. Well, see, out in California, they have the dry heat, but we need
No,
to get
not this.
Tony.
It's changing.
Is it?
It's something got bent somewhere in Los Angeles. I think it's just because there's so many more people. More people,
Sweating.
more water in the
Well,
air.
the
Yeah.
sweat up in the air. But
Ew, it's disgusting. The house I'm in right now, not the one I'm doing the stream from, but the house I'm in is a boot. At least for the first few summers we were there wasn't an air conditioner. It was there was an attic fan, and you had to have the windows open just a little bit, and the air would come in.
wow.
So Darren, I don't know if you recognize that. I'm in the doorway of the bedroom we used to stay in.
Oh, I wouldn't have recognized that, but now that you mention it, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little close up.
That attic fan or that whole house fan, that worked nice.
It worked good. I think it seems like it. I have memories of it being cool in there, so I don't know if they eventually got a wall unit or something, but I don't know. We're talking about our little childhood home that was right off the lake in the Ozarks. It was really a special place. And like 5 years ago, that house went kind of up for sale, and my childhood home in that, where I was born and raised, went up for sale. And the Clancy's, our cousin's big, wonderful, like mini mansion went up for sale all the same summer. And it's like, damn, I mean, I like where I live now, but if that had happened like 10 years earlier, wouldn't that have been something? We probably considered really getting the lake house, the one I'm in right now, because I think they were basically going to give it to us. But uh, I thought they were going to tear it down. It was terrible shape. It was on Zillow. It just looked like a dump. And, all the siding on the outside was asbestos siding.
Oh yeah.
It was made in the 50s. And I figured it was going to have to be torn down. But somebody bought it and renovated it, fix it up. So good for them. I made a model of that house and of the childhood house and of my cousin's house after they had the fire. So I've got like 3 childhood houses. And I'll make video games out of them one day when I get all Bill Gates's money.
Oh, there you go.
Tomorrow, Powerball, $1 billion. If you win it, you'll end up with like 100 million.
Yeah, but you have to play it first. I don't think I've ever bought a lottery ticket in my life. The closest I'd ever have is like maybe my mom would buy a few, or my grandma would, and she'd give me a couple.
Buy lottery tickets. Yeah, it's just like
support poor people's tax.
Well, that's it. My mom always wanted to. Well, let's try this. Let's try that. It's like, Mom, I don't have kids. In Florida, it supports education. It's like, Mom, I don't have kids. Okay. And I don't want to use it as a bookmark because that's basically all it is to me. I never win anything. I don't even want to waste the money.
So if I sway like that, my untied shoelaces become kind of hypnotic. Watch the lace. Watch the lace.
Speaking of how places steal your money, here's 2 things I read about this past week. Have you ever heard of peak shopping prices?
Yeah, is that where they monitor your heart rate and everything while you're shopping and jack up the price?
No, but close. I don't know if you've noticed in Walmart,
Hi, Kendra.
Publix, that they're starting to put those digital price tags on the rails instead of paper ones. Nice. Well, what they're doing is that they watch when the majority of people are shopping and stuff like that, and they change the price to a higher price during what they call peak shopping hours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about Walmart, darn. They're like getting rid of everything that we buy.
Yeah, notice the burritos are gone.
Yeah, the burritos are gone, and the popcorn chicken I get are gone. And it's like ever since they reorganize things. So maybe they'll give them a little bit. Otherwise, we might have to make like a field trip to River Place or something. I think that's a bigger Walmart. They might still have the stuff.
And the other money theft thing that's going on that I read about, and there's actually people with videos on there showing it. Have you ever been to like some of the fast food places that have the kiosk, where you go up there and just push the screen and order your own stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they found out some of them, I'm not saying all of it, some of them, when you get to the tip part and you say no tip, the price will actually change. They upcharge every item on your thing, like up to 50 cents an item.
And where is this?
Shake Shack is now gotten some shit for it, but they're now saying that other fast food places have been kind of doing it as well.
That doesn't work.
What?
You don't tip fast food. That doesn't work. I mean, huh?
I understand that, but when you push no tip, it upcharges. It changes the price of other things you've ordered.
How about if you press the button marked "fuck you"?
Yeah, okay. I'm almost getting to the point, and I've said this before, I'm about done eating out. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
God, I haven't eaten out at fast food. Christ, I can't even tell you. 3 years.
Not even fast food, Allison. I mean, even
4
sit-down
years.
restaurants are getting
No, I mean
ridiculous.
eating sit down. No, I'm serious. I'm not. I haven't eaten in. Now, my mom has been gone for 7 years. The last time I remember going to a sit down restaurant to eat out was when mom was alive. When I door dashed, and I door dashed for a couple of years, that that cured me from fast food, from restaurants, from everything. That, oh God.
I refuse
Yeah,
to do
that did it.
DoorDash or Uber Eats. Like some of my other coworkers like live on that shit. But I've seen the cars that some of these people are transporting the food in, and I'm like, ugh.
Don't mean I had the time. You know, I had my Kia, but my car was repoed 2 years ago. So it's like, what am I going to do? At the time, I had a 2018, bought a brand new Kia, and that's what I delivered in. But life has a way of screwing you over, so that's how it goes. Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Yeah, I had the rear wheel hub on my bike explode on Wednesday.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Was it like a mob thing? They're trying to whack you.
Yeah, probably.
Mom thing.
So I had the bright idea on Thursday of walking into work and trying to save money on Ubers. And turns out 2.5 miles is just a
And
bit
how'd
too
that
much for
work?
my hip. Yeah, I was walking sideways for the last few steps to get in there.
Oh, wow.
Because the hip
Especially at
joint that
that
gives
time.
me trouble, it seems like it gets bigger and bigger, then I end up it puts me up and then I'm like this.
Ow.
Like the leg gets longer. I don't know how that works.
Ow. I can't laugh at that because that's painful. I understand. Ow.
I've decided
And I
I'm not
used to
going to have health.
walk 6-7 miles. Nothing. Like nothing. Now, man, a mile is about the most I can handle. Sucks.
Getting old, Tony. We're getting old.
Now that's I
Crap.
see these oldsters running around.
I'm probably the oldest one of the bunch here.
Yeah, you probably got us beat, Allison. But as you
Probably
said, you're
do.
good. But you as you point out, you're still a good looking old broad. So
Yeah, I'm a good looking old broad, god damn it. I try awful hard anyhow.
So they're showing availability at River Place Walmart, but
Yeah.
to be fair, they're also showing availability at the local one here. So
Is there one off Bay Meadows?
I don't know. I haven't been there in a
Near
long time.
Deerwood.
I haven't been there in probably 30 years.
Why is he going the wrong way? And why is half of his chopper missing?
But River Place, darn, that's just by the airport. It's not far.
All these places you mentioned sound like stuff from Apology Nun cartoon.
Oh,
they don't
that's
sound like real towns or
yeah.
places.
Apology Nun. What is it? Brentwood, Crestwood, Grandview, Cedar Crest, Crestview, Brasket.
No, that's okay. That's the kind of shit we have down here as well in this part of Florida. So, oh yeah. We have Cocoa Plum Plaza right around the corner from me.
Here in Ocala, we have Redneck Brook and Redneck Cedar and Redneck.
I got a redneck story. The day after I bought my car, I was at Walmart and it was raining and the wiper blades sucked. So I went in and tried to get the right wiper blades. So came outside, I'm in the parking lot trying to put my wiper blades on, and this redneck pulls up parks right across from me in a giant lifted pickup. And he got out and tried to help me figure out the wiper blades.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's my redneck story, and this is classic.
I don't know if the guy was a redneck. He was just country. But
Oh.
Well, this guy was a definite bona fide redneck, and I worked with him at Kia. And the smallest car they had at Kia is called a Rio, and we call it clown car because it is. It's a fucking clown car.
Does it dance on the sand?
Pretty close. This guy was a wigger. You know what a wigger is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
Muslim in China.
It's a white guy that
I know.
You know. Well, this guy was a wigger, and he decided he was gonna lower it.
It's already all the way down, though.
The low tires and the chrome. It's like, really, Jordan? Can you make that any worse? And then he's got the speakers, so he's got.
It's funny. They probably depreciate the value on those cars like 80% when they do that crap.
Exactly. But
that's
80% of nothing.
How can it
be
worse?
It's depreciating so fast. I doubt you could even catch it to make it depreciate faster.
I mean,
but it's no different than Darren when he bought that DeLorean, and he put probably $100,000 in upgrades on it, and it still wouldn't go above 62 because it was a DeLorean.
It's because I got a fake knockoff Mr. Fusion.
Oh,
I didn't realize it at the time.
How are you doing, Kendra? What's new up in that place?
That place.
Oh, so my Patreon has 12 people now.
Yay.
Oh, hey.
And 7 of them are paying, so I'm getting $14 a month, assuming that they stay there. Yeah. I just started it like a week ago.
Timmy, you can retire.
Yeah, everybody was afraid to go to the paid tier, so Wendy Lou made the sacrifice and was the first person there.
Hey,
so
there you go. You owe Wendy $1.50. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys I'd gift you one if you participated there, but you'd have to actually participate.
That's me out then.
But we're poor, Timmy. We're poor.
You didn't hear what I just said.
I did. But
Then what did I say?
You said you would gift us if we participated.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that means I would pay your stupid $24 subscription if you would just go there and kind of be a plant and, say, hey. And, when I post something, like it and say, hey, that's cool. Why don't you do this? Or at least act like you're interested.
Timmy, we're a shill at a Turkish bazaar. That's what you want.
Yes, exactly. She says, well, it's, let's see how, well, shit, she's writing a whole bunch. She's having trouble driving, and Colorado sucks.
Tap. I've never been to Colorado. I couldn't tell.
Brianna works at McDonald's. So
I worked at
congratulations.
I worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, congratulations, Bri.
I worked at McDonald's for 2 years. I constantly smelled like onions and got free food.
Yeah,
doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I worked at Burger King for 6 months, and it's the only time, knock on wood, that I've ever worked fast food.
I worked at Chippendales for about 6 months, and I just always smelled like strawberries and sweat.
I was going to say, dancing?
Yeah.
I worked at Chippendales too, but that damn squirrel suit was so heavy and cumbersome.
That's not Buc-ee's. Are you sure you're talking about
You're thinking of a beaver.
Don't get started on beavers. I'll get my pianist background up again.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Darren, I guess Darren
enjoyed beaver.
What's
We're
that?
nuggets.
Wait. Was that penis or pianist?
What?
I'm sorry. I
All
couldn't
right.
hear you.
You haven't seen my pianist? I'll show you.
I don't want to see your penis. Thank you. I'm sorry. You're a married man. I know.
I have to go to Bucky's on my way to St. Augustine and get some beaver nuggets.
Buc-ee's. Pizza nuggets. Let's get
There
some
you
pizza
go.
nuggets.
There's my My 10-inch pianist.
I don't want to see it.
Just see it.
La, 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 la,
Can you
la.
just look at it, Allie, so we can get on with the
All
show?
right, let's do it. Show me.
It's
Here.
behind me. My background.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
With the little guy. How can it
Uh,
be a never mind.
Because the genie I got was hard of hearing, and I ended up with a 10-inch
Oh.
pianist.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My
should rub-
pianist is
you
bigger than
should-
your pianist.
You should have rubbed the
So
lamp
when
hard.
I was at Bucky's, there was this beaver there, and it had this ice cream on its lip. It was melted
Jesus
ice cream.
Christ.
Oh no. Haven't we heard this? We've heard this before.
Oh, it reminds me. I do have Alex the Seal on my thumb drive in my car.
Oh yeah. So do you admit to coming up with that, or is that still a mystery?
I don't explicitly remember it, but it sounds like something I might have said.
Wasn't that like a
Put
go-go
said the Go-Go
grandma?
song, Our Lips Are Sealed.
Yeah.
Put said that Darren used to call Alex the Seal. And I haven't heard it any. That's every time I think of that song, that's all I can think of now.
Yeah, Steve was playing "Don't Chew on Me, Baby" on yesterday's show. Don't chew
Did you
on
know
me,
that? Did you know
baby.
that Alex the Seal? See, there I go. That song is what got me into listening to music on the radio.
Belinda Carlisle was an attractive woman.
Yeah,
Yes,
I just liked the melody of the song, and I was like, you know what? I think I might like music.
She was.
not so much anymore though. Have you seen a recent picture of her?
Well, she's like 82 now. What do you expect?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's actually only like 62.
Same difference.
That's 82 in Timmy years.
Same
Oh, he was
difference.
187 years old. Yeah, okay, fine.
And now I've never gone that far
No,
with anybody.
Don't argue.
Pretty close.
You can't argue.
My
So,
my
oh,
Go-Go
really?
story, not that I
Okay,
ever
thank
met
you.
the Go-Go's, but that I saw an interview with them once in like the early 80s or mid 80s or whatever. And they had what was it, Jan Whedon and Belinda Carlisle and one of them was like, yeah, when we were all doing like the club scene when we were still, not big, we were doing club, we were all going home with a different guy every night. And I was like, where the hell was I at when this shit was going on?
You were hanging out with Putt.
Yeah.
There you
I was
go.
hanging out with Darn and Putt,
That darn Putt. I didn't meet any of the Go-Go's, but at one of the cons, the it was this area that we kept hanging out at, and I don't know why, but the drummer of the Go-Go's was there with her little dog, just like Darren there. I didn't actually introduce myself to her, but she was always alone, and she kind of looked like she had been rode hard and put away wet too many times, and she didn't seem happy. Kind of like Marky Ramone. He's always at those cons, and he always is the same way. He just never smiles. Of course, no one's ever there to see him, so that's probably one of the. I imagine if you're just there in your booth, and there's all this action, and everybody's got lines and people, and you're just sitting there and nobody's there. I can imagine there's no reason to smile either. But they're New York people. They never smile to begin with. They're stupid.
Not that you would know personally, Allison, but you've hung out in the circles of the rock groups.
I have.
Don't they all look like they've been rode hard and put away wet?
They all look like they've been rode hard and put away wet. Every single one of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I imagine all the Go-Go's would probably look like that.
Well, I don't know.
Like I said, I'm trying to remember the names. I know Jane Whedon, Belinda Carlisle.
Dennis Weaver.
I know Belinda
Dennis
Carlisle.
Weaver.
What?
Dennis.
Scary Spice, Old Spice.
Yeah,
Scary
Pumpkin Spice.
Spice.
Spice Girls.
Thank you for those videos
Pumpkin
too, by the way,
Spice.
Dad. Very awesome. You guys made some weird music videos back in the day when it was acceptable. It was the 90s. What are you talking about?
I sent Kendra some home movies. Remember those 4 we did when Dad was visiting in 90?
You know, I was going to look for those, darn, because I made a little bitty montage of Dad being silly. And I was like, I wish I still had the one where Darren and I were telling Dad we had a real special song for him, and then we started going, nah, 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 and Dad went over and acted like he smacked both of us across the head.
Oh.
I don't know if you have that scene.
Maybe.
That was one of. I'd like to see those. I think is that the one where we put on masks and did Def Leppard songs and stuff,
Yeah, we
Whoa,
did
I
Too
like
Late
that.
for Love,
Candy,
Hotel
cigars, and
California,
Coca-Cola.
and Nights in White Satin.
and Seventh Stranger.
Boy, Dad sure had a lot to put up with. That when he probably wouldn't have gone down there if he'd realized what we were going to subject him to there. But that was fun. We used to like to make those silly kind of movies. Now kids can just do that on their phones. Well, I guess at that time we were like 20 and we had a camcorder, so it was easier to make stuff. Not like when we were teenagers and all we had were 8mm movies. Boy, that was a pain in the ass.
But they don't do
Why?
entertaining stuff. They just show themselves putting on makeup.
That's true. That's one thing about I can guarantee that those little 3-minute things that we did that on those little 8mm were a hell of a lot more entertaining than anything that they can do with their cell phones. Because they had to be. Because we paid a lot of money on little, we didn't even have income. So, like 1983 money, we had to pay what, $7 to buy the damn film reel, and then another $10 to develop it, and it took a week to get it back from developing. And then there's a good chance that 3-minute thing that half of it's overexposed, or so.
And then you had to get on there and scratch the film to make little laser bolts, shooting all over
That
the
was
place.
part of the fun of it. I had a little I still might have it. I've got a little reel to reel 8mm editor, and it's got a screen in the middle, and you can like hand reel each one, and then you can find and put the scratches on it or whatever, or glue it together, whatever you need. Boy, I can still, every time I think of that super glue, the crazy glue pen, I can smell it, and my fingers get stuck together automatically just thinking about it.
Is this thing behind you, Tony, sponsored by Coca-Cola by any chance?
Probably. It's sponsored by oldness.
Good old
Malt
days.
syrup. Vacuum
Hi,
packed.
Lewis. Lewis said,
Lewis.
good evening, everyone. Happy to be here tonight. Well, happy to have you here,
I'm
Lewis.
glad
And
somebody's happy.
Kendra said, yeah, that was a fun time growing up. You guys were an awesome family. I love you guys so much, and I miss you. Oh,
Love you too.
yeah, love you too.
I just went over to Darn's house to hang out with the hobbits. So
Yeah.
I miss the Hobbit. He was good people.
I
was.
wish.
He used to use that was the only rabbit I've ever known that could use the litter box and ate chili and popsicles and he ate everything.
It smelled like brownies.
And he just showed up at our house one day. Doorbell rang and Mom opened the door. I don't know if there was a doorbell, but she went out in the front yard and there was this little Dutch rabbit just sitting there on the porch, and she opened the door and he just hopped inside, I
Oh,
think.
there you go.
And
Thought it was a
Ellie,
cat.
Allison, where were you going?
No, I was going to say that, excuse me, sorry, that I wish I'd had a picture of my mother's face when she walked into my room as a young teenager and everything had switched from the monkeys to Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
And she sees this picture of this guy with a snake, and she's like, just totally lost it. I'm sorry.
That reminds me of Howard Kalin of the Turtles. His mom used to see them backstage after their Turtles shows sometimes, and she was just so proud of them that they had all this success and then what happened is the Turtles broke up and he joined Frank Zappa and the Mothers. And then one time her mother, not Frank, but Howard's mother came out to one of those shows, and she was backstage and she was crying, and he's like, oh, isn't that sweet? No, she was crying because they were shit. And then she's like, what?
Yeah.
You used to do such wonderful, happy music. What is this?
It's like Flo and Eddie. That's the last people you want to be stuck in an elevator with is Flo and Eddie.
Well,
Oh my
they
God.
did the theme songs for the cartoons Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears. And it's like, who has these guys make children's songs? Because they're the most perverted, absolute. Darren, if you don't know, they were like co-producer, or they did voices for that Dirty Duck, that thing we rented, that cartoon that was like X-rated. And it's like these guys, they had no business doing those theme songs for those kids shows. And don't get me wrong, I love the Turtles. And Howard Kalin, when he said he watched Saturdalia, he literally brought me out of my stupor after the divorce, you know? So I've always loved the Turtles. But when they quit being the Turtles, they were perverts. And I mean, solid. I mean, if you ever listen to the album, what was it? Oh, Illegal, Immoral, and Fattening, that album they did. It was dirty. They were like, doing a live thing, and they're like, okay, now everybody go to the person next to you and go down on them, and it's just like, can I hear Happy Together?
For Eleanor?
But they didn't have any success as Flo and Eddie. In Howard's book, he said that was such a stupid name. He said Air Supply would have been a better name. Just like any name would have been better than Flo and Eddie. Speaking of rock, and this isn't
Fluorescent Leech and Eddie.
Here's a trivia. Geddy Lee of Rush, his name is actually Gary Lee, but his mother had such a thick Yiddish accent that she's always called him Geddy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So that's the only one I really have this time.
Yes, we learn something new every day.
There you go.
The more you know.
If more people
Years
watch
ago,
your show, they would learn.
The more you know. Thank you.
Yeah, the more you know.
Dun-dun-dun.
So, my rock and roll story, I kind of told you a couple of weeks ago that I was pulling the Hideaway album offline off all the streaming services, and because I remixed 19 of the 22 songs.
Oh.
And so I went to the site that I go through that does that, kind of the aggregator site. And she's like, no, we can replace the tracks. No problem. Just put them in a, Google Drive or this and that. So I did that, and 4 songs off the new album. So hopefully they'll just replace the tracks, and I won't have to pull the albums down.
Sweet.
Wouldn't that be nice? Hopefully I still have the plays, the equity on like Spotify. And so if not, I'm still glad to have these songs, because it took the fun totally out of that album. I just couldn't listen to it anymore.
So you've got enough albums now that you need to create a best of.
I think about it. The problem with best ofs with me, because when I think of best ofs, I'm thinking of my absolute favorite songs, which might not be the hit songs.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be, because everybody's going to have different favorite songs. So you've got to just do the.
I think it's supposed to be your most successful songs.
So to me, the most successful would be it would be off the new album, would be Glass Horses, because I got 4 comments on Facebook instead of none. So it's it's still not a very big metric. That's why with me, I can kind of tell, on the new album, I can kind of tell which ones had the best. And fortunately, with the new album, it's the same ones that are my favorites, except for the Glass Horses song, which seemed to be the favorite, but it's not my favorite. But I like it, or I wouldn't put it on there. But I did learn something, because the period of I will be QAing and fixing these songs with hundreds of fixes a weekend when I'm building the album. And then I will take a whole month and just QA the album after all the songs are done. And then I'll have this one night from hell. It happens every album where I'm up until midnight, and I just keep hearing a new problem and a new little mistake and a new this. And my ears just, they become like radar dishes, and I just pick up things I'd never picked up before. And and it's nerve wracking. And then that morning I'll listen to it again, like in the truck, and then I'll do more edits, and then I'll finally send it off. Well, what I've learned is to do that, but not send it off for about 4 more months because I'll just keep hearing stuff. You know, it's kind of like the Vega that they never granny tested it. They just put the car on the market, and you know, all the problems that, you know, were in people's garages instead of, you know, in testing. Does that make any sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, I hate when I get a
And
Vega in
just
my
drove
intestines.
it to church once a week. There you go. Yep, drove it to church.
Yeah, I never had one. Had a stupid Audi Fox, which was probably worse than a Vega.
You know, probably the weirdest car I ever had. I loved it. Absolutely loved the car. Was a 1972 Chevy Impala. It was green with a green vinyl top. The thing was a mess when it finally got, I finally got rid of it. But I called it Kermit. It was frog green.
I wonder if that's the one Kramer ended up with, because he had a car like that.
Probably.
Remember that? Didn't he have that
Yes, he
70?
did.
And he stopped short with George's mom or something like that.
Yes, he did. Because my transmission and engine went at the same time. It's like I had to finally have the thing towed.
It's kind of a sign from God that it's time to move on
Yeah.
to something else, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That I had, say, I drove a 71 Galaxy for a while, and
Mm.
the transmission went out on it. So my boss sold me his 72 Bronze Vista Cruiser with the wood grain on the side, just like that 70 show.
Mhm.
He sold it to me for $100, and I took it home, and the transmission went out on it on the way
Oh,
home.
God.
So I just went ahead and fixed the Galaxy. But in hindsight, I should have kept that wagon instead.
Yeah.
That was that was a cool car. It needed a lot. We kind of made it a work horse, so it was rode hard and put away wet a lot. So I don't know.
That seems to be the tagline.
Memories. Well, Steve, why don't you just join us from your phone? You did that for like 2 years in the past, so.
So I downgraded Claude to the $20 a month plan.
Ah.
Yeah, everybody's doing that.
Are we going to have a link to this? Hey, are we going to have a link to this show? Because Phil is asking me.
Yeah, it's
Well,
on
sure,
YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Share link
What
right there.
link?
Boom.
Yeah,
Easy.
we're live.
Thank you.
If he goes to my my page, it's right up there. I just put it up on the page. So speaking of AI, there's this guy, kind of a fat guy with curly hair and a beard, and he imitates those Chinese robots dancing that malfunction. And they're dancing, and he does the dancing, and then he malfunctions and falls over, and it's so funny. And you could it's like you've got the robot and him side by side. He does the exact same thing. It's hilarious.
I can't wait to get my Optimus robot.
Ah.
When we were kids, we thought robots look cool. I've never thought a robot could look so gay. The robots now are just, they embarrass me. Because when I'm a robot at the cons, I'm at least kind of a cool robot, not these weird things that they got now.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
No.
Come over in your robot costume and mow my lawn.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about getting one of the Tesla robots when they come out to mow my lawn for me, and I'm just wondering what it'll feel like to have it do it.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Mm.
It had to be on Halloween though, or I get arrested.
That you can't see to mow the lawn when you got this robots here now.
I can see, I just can't see at night.
Yeah.
I can't mow the lawn at night.
I finished mowing it today, so it's good for another couple days before I have to do it again.
Days.
Yeah, yeah, his grows real fast. I finished half of mine before my lawnmower went, and that was it. So I gotta.
This other one I got's a nice one. Soon I'll try to get it started, but when it runs, it's nice.
Cool. I'm sure I'll get mine running. It did it a few years ago. It's just every few years it does it. Oh, you know what? My the weed eater line on my Ego, after 3 or 4 years, I finally ran out of the line that came with it with the factory. Today I ran out of it. And boy, they don't lie. That's really neat the way you put the way they have it rigged. The you know how annoying weed eater line replacing it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it comes with in a like a twin pack of two like rings of the line, and what it is there's a green one and an orange one, and you just pull one of them. They're taped together, and you cut it where it meets the green, so it just keeps going back and forth, and that gives you an even 10 feet if you just cut it where the colors are, and you just put it in one eye hole and out the other. You string them up to where they're even, and you push a button, and it goes, and it just puts it in there and winds it up. It's really neat. It's like this is one of the few inventions that actually made a product better instead of worse. You know,
I got one of those.
they're the bomb. I love mine, huh?
The Ego weed eater.
Yeah, it's electric. Lowe's sells it, but they like have a whole line of yard stuff, but they supposedly all can take the same battery.
Kind of. I got their mower too, but it takes a bigger battery.
I was wondering about that, but yeah, I mean, I love that. I have fun with the weed eater. I mean, it's quiet. I have a chainsaw too. I have an Ego chainsaw.
I might need to borrow that.
Sure, anytime. It's nice because it's quiet. You don't have to start it for a half an hour to get it. You just, and then it just, it's nice. What's that behind you, Gotcha?
No, that is the picture from my new business. That's going to be the picture of on my website that I'm going to be working on. The name of my business, which I have filed an LLC for, is called Secondhand Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Really? Is it the gaming supplies?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by just going to a bunch of thrift stores and stuff like that and finding old D&D stuff and repurposing and reselling them.
Oh, nice.
My tagline is going to be, the adventure's already been played, but there's more adventure to come, and then
just be careful. You don't want to be like that bricks and minifigs scandal.
Why would I be a scandal?
Haven't you heard about bricks and minifigs?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's been a big deal the last few months. So that's a secondhand Lego chain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some guy, the guy's dad was, not doing well, so he sold his Lego collection for like $100,000 or $200,000 worth of Legos, and basically the corporate, they like fired the franchise owners and they kept all his Legos and wouldn't give him the money. So a YouTuber called Reckless Ben, a kid, he kind of took up the case. And boy, this is Utah, and the police and the bricks and minifigs, they're all the corporate there, they're all Mormons, and they're all like in the same club. So the police and everybody, they kept having him arrested and all this stuff. Boy, and it's gotten huge. I mean, it's been a huge scandal. It's like world news stuff, and everybody's what's going to happen next, because the police they've been caught red-handed. Their body cams and everything, the behind the scenes cheating and telling. So how can we arrest this guy? What can we do? And like the police chief woman's laughing. Oh, maybe we could, and it's all on it's really a wild thing going on, that they're probably going to go out of business because they're just, I mean, that I don't know. I've never seen anything like it.
I'm just going to be reselling old D&D stuff, mostly
Nice.
modules and books.
guys.
Yeah.
I've gotta.
You got to pee? Well, we'll wait for you.
Well, no, I gotta go for the night because my head is exploding.
Mm.
Okay.
We haven't even done anything funny yet.
I know,
Oh,
but
We're not likely to.
I love you guys, and I'll be here next Tuesday.
All right. Take care, Allie.
Love you guys. Bye.
Kiss this.
Huh?
Yeah, kisses too.
Kiss the boot, Allie. Kiss the
Yeah,
boot.
that's right.
No, guys, I don't feel well, and I've got to go to work, and it's just my sinuses hurt so bad.
Ouch.
It's like, you ever feel like your eyes are just bulging out of your
Yes.
head? Yeah,
Know all about
that's
it.
that's how I feel. So I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
Love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Now, but I was going to ask her to sign off this time, and she did, so I didn't have to.
So that reminds me, the Play and Buck, the radio show that took Rush's slot, one of their bumper music is "Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight" from
Oh,
Spinal.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you've only got me for about 8 more minutes too. So
Oh, good.
I heard that they filmed that entire movie in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
yeah, I heard that too.
Sounds reasonable.
Filming time on most movies is usually only 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's all the post production shit that
Yeah.
All the payola stuff and all that.
And then every now and then you hear about him going back and just doing a few reshoots just to.
It's like Waterworld. They had to reshoot everything because Storm got rid of their island.
Yeah.
Steve, you got to get in here if Godshock's leaving. We can't keep this thing afloat with the 3 of us.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be floating like a turd that won't flush.
Yeah.
That keeps coming back up the drain.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to fade now, so
Why don't you get some crack?
just I've taken my medications and it's taking its toll now. I'll be like putt here in about another half hour.
That'd be funny.
Feet up.
Well, not floofy, but it was
Friday
funny.
will be
It was
the
funny when
anniversary.
he'd pass out on the show, though.
Friday's his first year anniversary.
This Friday, huh?
This Friday will be a year.
And we still haven't put up his memorial thing. Memorial. Still waiting for all the pictures we're going to have of him.
Yeah. Nobody has any, though.
Darren sent one. I think it was a yearbook picture.
I didn't really take a whole lot of pictures of Putt. I've got a couple.
I mean, I got a couple pictures of putt too somewhere.
That's what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
I think Tony's got a couple.
No, I don't.
No, Tony's got a couple of his wife.
What?
Elaine.
Yeah.
What?
He was married to Elaine Bennis for a while.
Oh, that's nice.
But was?
I have no
Yeah.
idea. The conversation took a turn, and then I have
No,
Darren's
Putt
a-
was,
a
what,
word
what
of
was
it.
what was his first wife's name?
I don't know what her name. We'll have
That
to
was
ask. But
Anna.
we can. Anna?
Anna. Yeah. She kind of looked like Elaine.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I don't know if I'd be running around that propeller like that. Just
yeah. Why not?
apparently,
Germans
apparently
don't
OSHA,
care.
OSHA didn't exist back in World War II Germany. So
Yeah.
Well, the last one I saw do that, he got caught in the propeller. Remember on Indiana Jones thing?
Yeah.
That one guy's.
This were Russia. They would just throw their troops into the propeller to
Yeah.
stop the engine quicker and save fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Russia, we didn't stop plane. Planes stop us. Oh, a big hawk just came by. I get hawks
Oh.
that live in my trees and stuff.
Are you guys getting up to like 111 heat index up there too?
Oh, I don't pay attention to heat, and I don't even look at the weather anymore because it doesn't do any good. I used to be naive and think, oh, do you think, is it gonna rain tomorrow? And now it's just like, you know what? The weather forecast has not a clue.
Okay, so I'll rephrase it. Is it just getting hot as balls up there too, like it is down here?
Yeah, it's been
Well,
pretty hot and muggy.
when I'm mowing, it is. Otherwise, it's not too bad.
Just the air is heavy.
Low 90s this week.
Ours is the high 90s. I think air temperature got up to like 97 today. And then they said the real feel was like 109. And I'll tell you what, I was outside today for a little while and it felt like it. It was like, geez.
I don't know. I think that feel like it stuff is just so the weathermen can act a lot more dramatic than what's actually going on. It's just it's hot. 95 degrees is hot.
So I
You
looked at
know.
a map, and if I can just leave my neighborhood, drive past 6 houses, turn left on 200, and that goes all the way to Ocala.
Yes, it does. It goes pretty damn close to my house. I only live about 2.5 miles off of 200.
Yeah, I think that's Wendy and I when we went to TampaCon. I think that's the way we went because she lives in Callahan, which is just on the way. It's one of the towns on the way. So
It's one of the most important towns in Florida because it has a Hardee's. And
yeah,
that Hardee's has steak biscuits.
that's important.
Every so often, I'll spend the hour round trip to go get me some steak biscuits.
I have a Hardee's not too far from the house, and I haven't got the steak biscuits yet, but I do get the sausage biscuits.
Steak biscuits are my favorite.
I have to try those next time.
They're good. I just have to have like syrup with it. Well, of course, you go to Hardee's, you don't really get syrup. You get like corn syrup.
Or you could chew them. It works too.
I don't know. As I get older, I can't. I have a lot less tolerance for just
Chew.
just everything gets stuck in my throat.
Yeah, that's why I would make a terrible homosexual. I have a strong gag reflex.
Ew. No. Tony, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Give us another hour, Cuts Chuck.
I can't do that. I'm fading right now.
All right.
I appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, we do appreciate you showing up, Cuts Chuck.
I'm hoping I just feel a lot better next week and can be here for the whole show. I should feel better.
Well, hopefully we'll be funny.
Okay, try ringing one more time. If it doesn't work, I give up.
Yeah, don't worry.
So I'll let him get on first, and then I'll.
Well, assuming it works.
Plus, I have to go take my Robitussin so I can sleep tonight.
Robot Tussin. Yeah,
Robot
Tussin. Yeah.
I got some Tylenol PM without the Tylenol.
Oh, I've got the
So just
Tylenol
PM.
too.
I can't take acetaminophen.
Yeah, so that's what I just said. It doesn't have it's got the sleepy stuff part of Tylenol PM, but doesn't have the Tylenol part.
Well, I take the generic Unisom at Walmart. No, I get it on Amazon now, but that stuff's the bomb. For like almost 10 years, I just take half of one when I go to bed.
Oh, he said, nope, no audio.
Wonder how he knows. How do you know there's no audio if you don't try?
So my watch tells me how well I slept every night.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's usually good, and it's like 9 hours.
Oh,
like I need to, plus my nap in the afternoon. My dogs, since I retired, my dogs have learned the word nap. So when I say want to take a nap, they both head to my bedroom and we all get in bed and go to sleep.
Are Our two cats, whenever me and the wife stay home from work or something like that, the two cats sit there and stare at us like you're not supposed to be here.
What's a
Yeah.
peccadillo?
It's like a large armadillo.
Yeah, it's like a peccary and an armadillo.
We got an armadillo trying to make a catacomb under my house.
See, I can't stop yawning now.
Be careful. I hear they carry leprosy.
Leopards.
Yeah,
Yeah, they carry
I'm not-
leopards. They bring leopards with you.
I'm not planning on cuddling with it.
All right.
I spray predator pee all over the hole whenever it digs it. But it keeps digging down to my foundation, but apparently my foundation goes all the way down, so it gives up.
I think I've got them under my shed. I used to have them under the shed, and they would be rustling around the leaves right by my window in the morning.
I used to have effing gophers.
Effing?
Effing gophers. A little
Effing.
asshole.
I had a suspicious mole.
Or maybe that's
How do you
what it
tell
was.
a mole
we
from a
can't
gopher?
go on this way. We can't go on like with this way with suspicious moles.
Well, guys, I'm going to call it quits.
All right. Hope you feel better.
Yeah, I will be back next week. Hopefully I don't get like cancer or something and die or something. You know.
Hope
Yeah,
not.
don't.
So, all right, Timmy, I like your boot.
Thank you.
Tony, good seeing you.
Yeah,
Yep.
glad you're still
Darn.
alive.
The crowd out there, if there's anybody left watching us,
I think we got a couple people there.
love y'all. Be back next week, hopefully feeling a lot better than I am.
Yeah, feel better.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right,
All
boy.
right, bye. Bye.
I made this boot like a year ago, but I didn't like the eyes, so I didn't use it until this last time I had that program where I could fix it.
Oh, there you go.
The eyes, I had it where the eyes would pinch shut, and that was just annoying the heck. It just didn't look right. So
I
put
wonder
the
how
li-
Steve knows that there's no audio before he even starts the program up.
It's probably on a yacht somewhere having fun and just doesn't want to
I
admit it.
guess.
probably.
United used to call their airliners mainliners, and then intravenous heroin users started calling themselves mainliners.
So they
Oh, is that
switched
what?
it to free
Is that what?
basers.
Yeah, that must be what the Eric Clapton song "Mainline Florida." I actually like that song. It's one of my favorite songs of his. I guess I don't like it as much now that I know it's just about drugs. There's nothing more
Well,
boring
everything's
than a
about
drug
drugs.
songs. Do what?
You know,
Yeah,
that's
everything's about drugs.
this is one of the rare things we agree on.
Hmm.
As far
Yeah.
as music and stuff goes, is if a song's about drugs, I'm like, there's some imagination for you. Way to go.
Yeah, let's make a whole album about Sudafed. You know, it's
There
just
you
like over the counter illegal drugs. It doesn't matter. It's boring.
So it was storming really bad yesterday. So I put the dog's bed up on the desk and figured he'd be happier right next to me because he's afraid of the thunder. And
Yeah.
he climbed on my shoulder and sat on my shoulder through the whole storm.
Oh, okay.
It's like having a 10-pound parrot just with bad breath on your shoulder.
I love that Bob Denver song.
Give me a second. I'm starting a render.
You're multitasking.
Yeah, but at least I tell you when I'm going to do it, and it only
Yeah.
takes a minute. I've changed Judy into the She-Hulk, and she's throwing a gas tank into the oil rig, and I just had to change camera angles.
So I watched Malevolence last night.
Oh, how's your
pretty-
levelance?
It was pretty good. Had Florence pug in it. She's pretty hot.
A 4-ounce bug.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
18 to 270.
I was worried about bugs. I never weigh them though. Wow, that's an interesting AI backdrop you put together there.
Who? Tim?
Okay, you got one more guess.
Oh, my office.
Yeah.
Gizmo wanted to be on TV, so I had to.
Oh, there you go. The hell is that? Okay.
So from where's my finger? I can't. Yeah, all those shells, that one there is all D&D stuff.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell God's Chuck, because I don't want to sell it. If I die, he can sell it.
I just hope he's careful. He doesn't have any ambition. He won't do it. I'm only saying that for your sake, God's Chuck, if you're listening. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't talk rude to someone behind their. Well, I would.
All the damn
It's easier to talk
time,
rude
yes.
about people behind their back than it is in front of them.
Yeah, there you go. Cool walk of fame. Oh dear.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay.
There we are.
What got your tongue?
Huh?
No, nothing.
My boot tongue?
Oh.
No, I was attempting to be funny, but there's a fine line between
I
funny
try to
and
avoid.
stupid.
I try to avoid it trying to be funny. Never works out. Yeah, my brother was here from England yesterday and today.
Oh, get him on the show.
See English?
Yeah, actually, he's my half brother on my mom's side, but he's the brother I grew up with, and basically Austrian and Czech, but he lives in England, so he's picked up a little bit of an Irish accent.
Huh.
And he was here 7 years ago, and then prior to that, I hadn't seen him for 48 years.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of how Darren was
So
till last year. So it's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell your brother to get his ass over and move where you are?
Why the hell would I subject him to that? I dare you to find a more 70s picture than that.
Did she own that car or was that promotional?
She's attractive
Oh,
for
I
a
know.
girl.
I think it's Farrah Fawcett, isn't it?
Yes. Farrah Fawcett and a Mustang too. I dare you to find a more 70s picture.
Yeah.
The thing about the Mustang too is the hood's too short because I want to kind of climb on it with her, you know. But
that doesn't look bad. I thought Mustang 2s were bad.
it's like a
No,
Cobra
they're
edition.
very bad.
They're glorified Pintos, but still, you know what? They are glorified Pintos, but at least they were styled better than the later Mustangs, the ones of like the early 80s that just look like refrigerator boxes like everything else did.
Isn't the new Mustang a electric SUV?
Yeah, it's sacrilege. I mean, what the heck?
What's the least Mustang thing we can think of?
Exactly. I don't understand.
No, the next
I don't
time,
understand any of
they're
it
going to have a
anymore.
4-door sedan Mustang out too next year or whatever. But well, actually, that's not the Mustang. It's the Mustang. What the fuck? It Mach-E. Now in Hawaiian, Mach-E means dead.
And in
So
Star
I doubt
Trek,
they sell very
it
many
mean-
of them.
in Star Trek, it means terrorist, I believe.
Really? Oh,
Steve
yeah.
were here,
Well,
he could tell us.
not Star Trek, but Star Trek colon some fucking
Oh,
bullshit
true.
that I. Yeah.
True.
You know, I'm a purist. There's one Star Trek and it was canceled in 69 and rebooted in 72 as a cartoon. That's it. Uh and there's only one Star Wars that was from 77. That's it for me. That's all I need.
You're wrong. Because you got to have Empire. And
It's the
Jim-
Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Luke. Yay!
It would have been really cool, though, if they did have the two old guys.
Yeah.
Might as well. Had Lucas and Spielberg up in the balcony.
You know what the best thing about Empire was? Lucas was off doing money stuff. So he had his producer guy and Irvin Kershner, the director, were kind of off doing it their own way. And so that's why it was, but that's why it ended up being the best. Because Lucas didn't do any merchandising stuff.
It was kind of just it was, what do you call it? It was just
Perfection.
no, there wasn't even an ending to it. It was just a segue to the next one. It wasn't even at least Star Wars was a standalone movie. I like standalone movies.
Yeah, but that's how it was doing the kind of the standard 3-act structure, though. So at the end of the second one, you end on a down note.
Ah.
Kind of like Back to the Future. Although I liked that second one the best.
Yeah,
The
it was
best of
definitely
the three.
the darkest one, though.
It was the darkest, but it was my favorite of the three.
Which was that?
The second Back to the Future.
Well, they went to
The-
I-
2015.
well, So yeah, I don't remember if the Old West was the second or the Future was the second.
That was a third. Old West was the third. The Future was the second, but that's the one that got pretty dark. I liked it. We saw it. Darren and I we used to go to the premieres, the Rock 105 movie premieres, and get the free tickets. And we had one for Working Girl, which was, I guess, Harrison Ford was in it. It was a stupid rom-com or something. I guess it wasn't funny, but we were watching it about a half an hour in, and the film melted. It's got stuck and it melted and broke. So the film broke.
Nice.
And the guy says, well, we got good news and bad news. The good news is we fixed the film. The bad news is we've got to start it from all the way from the beginning. But so you can either watch it or you can watch any film in the multiplex for free. And everybody left.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to watch that piece of shit again. And Darren and I got to watch the full. It just turns out that the Back to the Future 2 hadn't started yet, so we were able to watch the full movie, and that's how we saw it. It was good. I liked it a lot, even the darkness of it.
Nothing wrong with darkness.
It can work.
Yeah.
It's the savory element.
Yeah. There you go.
Umami. It adds umami.
Well, that's one of the things I liked about Porky's is they integrated that darkness into it, and it still made it work.
Yeah.
It didn't lose its soul with it. I did that with the Last Page of Summer. The movie got darker and darker, but it still kept its grooviness.
Yeah.
Boy, this new Transforma thing, it's becoming really involved.
Oh boy.
A lot more than I thought it would. But I think it'll be fun. This is going to be like the Transforma extravaganza video. Almost kind of like the parking lot scene of I Want Her for Myself. Lots going on. That She-Hulk, she's going to be doing some carnage.
Ah.
I changed the dynamics. That 66 GTO I made.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be Judy. Stacy became a 69. So I made that. So I've got that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Judy's going to end up basically crashing into a bunch of rusty old cars and end up upside down, and So I'm going to make Rob into like this kind of iron, kind of a Hulk, but Rob, but kind of an Iron Hulk. And he's going to like kind of tow her to where she needs to be and stuff. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but a lot of different transformations in this.
So was Farrah Fawcett a model? I know she acted in some stuff, but that wasn't her primary thing, was it?
I think so.
she
She was in
started out
Charlie's
modeling.
Angels. Do what?
I think she started out as a model, but yeah, I think Charlie's Angels about the first time, besides the poster, about the first.
Well,
year
that
of it.
poster, I don't think wasn't a modeling job. Some photographer went to her house and asked if he could take some pictures, and she had just got
go
out
to
of the
some-
pool. Yeah, her
Well, I
hair was
mean-
kinky from getting out of the pool, and that was her backyard, and that background was just a tapestry. It was a rug that she had, and they just hung it. It was a very kind of spur of the moment thing, very casual.
So,
and she
so
took.
the photographer's just walking by, spots a hot chick, and says, "Hey, can I take a picture of you in your swimsuit with a?"
I don't know exactly how he met her. It's Hollywood. Everybody knows everybody there.
Okay, so she was probably doing modeling or some crap.
I don't know, but it was at her house, so I don't know.
But I think she did. Well, it's not mutually exclusive.
Well, I'm just
That's,
maybe she was. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying that's what happened there. It was kind of a casual. Is what I'm saying is the iconic photo wasn't this $1 million photo shoot and some thing. It was just some guy that came over taking pictures. That's all. I thought it was a neat story.
Okay.
And it became like the most iconic photo of the century, pretty much.
So it's orange and windy and dark, getting dark out. So I think
It's
possibly
orange.
it's the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay,
It is.
probably is.
The sky is like a purplish orange kind of thing going on.
It's an orange colored sky. Oh, good. Let's not get Burt Ward in here with Frank Zappa.
I heard that when he did that song, it was very casual. Someone just went to his house and asked if he could do some. He shouldn't have.
All
He
right.
just should have just slammed the door. If you don't know, the guy that played Robin in the '60s Batman was Burt Ward, and Steve used to play a song on his show that he'd sang, and it was terrible. It was like he was trying to be like a crooner kind of song. It was terrible. It's called Orange Colored Sky. It was horrible. If you're going to play an Orange Colored Sky song, play the theme to the NBC mystery movie.
So I got a car question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Nash Ramblers, they can do
Yes.
120 in second gear.
Yeah, they
Yes,
can.
sir.
They can with a 24 horsepower flathead four banger.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. The songwriter's imagination.
I
Either that or they're
listened-
going off a cliff.
I listened to a documentary about it. I think it was a documentary.
It was a song,
Might have been a song.
a documentary song.
I did hear that that they were fast, though.
Could be like Lotus.
Off a cliff.
Lotus gets all of its performance from being light.
Yeah, I saw a Nash Metro. You remember the Nash Metropolitans?
Mm-hmm.
They look like clown cars, but I saw one. Oh my gosh! It was when I was bringing the new truck home, and I was going down. It was either I-95 or 295, and there was one of those '50s Nash Rambler. No, it was Nash Metropolitan,
Yeah.
and that thing was scary small. And I don't know how he was on the freeway with that thing. It's like,
Oh yeah.
you knew they were small, but it was like so small. It was like this shouldn't be on the street legally because it is very, very small. I didn't realize because that's what Peter Pot drove in my Cooperatives graphic novel.
Oh.
And so I kind of did that joke where he was trying to keep up with the bad guys and everything else with it. But good gosh, that's a tiny little car. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I
It
think
was basically
back
an
in the-
English car with Nash styling.
back in the day, if you crash any of those cars, you're dead. So you're not more
Yeah,
dead because your car's small.
Big, small.
You're just-
I mean, you just died. People just died. We died all the time in the old days. Kids today, man, they get killed once. They
Well, when
quit.
My thing is it's just, to me, it's basically physics. Um, Especially in basically one car usually always wins in the accident. That's kind of how it was. It just kind of depended where they were hit, and usually that smaller car, the Nash, it never won. Any of or the Vega, it never wins. But the an interesting thing, Tony knows this story, but I think it's interesting, is so Nash had these, basically they were bathtub cars. All their cars look like bathtubs upside down. And so they made these early 50s car, and they retired it in like 55 because it was, getting kind of obsolete and old school. Well, what happened is in 58 they had this big recession, and all these mid-sized cars, the Edsel was killed on its debut because of it, and Buick and all these other cars, they weren't doing good. So they were like, why don't we still had the tooling, or they had the tooling for this obsolete car. So what they did is they brought it back. I think they changed the grill and they widened the wheel wells, and they call it the American. And they brought that car that was obsolete for years, and they just brought it back on the market. This bathtub came back, and it did great. Everybody was started buying the damn thing, and they made it until like 60. But it was just an interesting story that they brought that thing out of mothballs and just renamed it, and people bought it again.
Well, it's funny because it was Nash, and then they came out with a new smaller car called the Nash Rambler, 50, 51, and all that, and they got it right because it wasn't a penalty box car. It actually was nicely equipped and just small. So some people, hey, it's easier to park and blah blah blah, but it was so successful that they ended up dropping the Nash name and just calling everything Rambler. And then, like you said, they brought the little one back and called it the Rambler American.
Right.
But it's kind of confusing because it's like, it was Nash, and then it was Rambler, and then it was AMC.
Yeah, they couldn't. They really had an identity crisis.
They did,
and those little makes were having such trouble, and they were trying to combine motor companies together. And it's like Studebaker and Packard got together and went down together.
Yeah.
Well, no, they Studebaker lasted a few years, but yeah, I think if two makes should have made it, it would have been Kaiser and Kaiser, and I think they should have kept going because they had, while all the cars looked like Humpty Dumptys, as I like to say, in early 50s. It was, to me, early 50s and early 80s were the most dismal years for car styling. But Kaiser looked good. They had one called the Dragon. It was just, they had good looking cars. And also, I think Packard, they should have made it. They just, the problem with Packard is they should have continued to make luxury makes to run with Cadillac, and like even between Cadillac and Rolls-Royce. Instead, they tried to make economy, mid-range cars that killed the company.
Yeah.
But
was Studebaker high end as well?
No,
I don't. No, they were just kind of an alternative car. If you didn't want a Ford or a Chevy or whatever and wanted something different, you could get a Studebaker. Wouldn't you say that's kind of the case? They were
smaller, but they weren't
a little
like,
bit smaller
like
cars.
yeah.
But the Avanti, the Studebaker
a,
Avanti was kind of high end. The Avanti that they made.
Yeah, that was right at the very tail end.
Yeah.
But Stude, I think in 47 were one of the first to come out with a brand new body style after the war.
Yeah, but they tried to make it look like a damn biplane or something. Man, that looked weird. But but the Avanti ended up, even though Studebaker went out of business, somebody bought Avanti and basically continued it into like the late 80s. We had a dealer right on Beach Boulevard near where we lived that was an Avanti. They sold new Avantis, and they were 4-doors and convertibles.
Right.
Good looking cars.
Yeah.
And when you get up to what?
Were they rear engine?
No, they were front. They had like Chevy Caprice or chassis and everything.
But they didn't have a grill, did they?
No, they did. They had one under the bumper.
Yeah.
But they like I said, these fiberglass bodies, when you actually see one up close, they're big cars. I mean, they don't look like it in pictures. It's one of those things where pictures don't do it justice. You got to get up to a lot of cars. I mean, to me, a lot of the '60s cars, like muscle cars, and even my Mustang, none of the pictures do it justice. When you got to go up to the car to actually see kind of the proportions and what. Even Kendra, sorry, losing.
Oh,
Kendra,
good.
when
Now we're
she's
going to be down to 2.
No, I'm not gonna pussy out on you. I'm just saying, Kendra, when she saw my Mustang in person, she says, "Yeah, the pictures don't do it justice. You know, it's a lot bigger car than or whatever the profile of it." Um, are you gonna bring your? Well, I don't know. Are you ready to bring your Porsche to the meets, Dar? Did you get it tagged
Yeah.
or titled?
Yeah, it's drivable. I
Sweet.
fed your dogs in it one time.
Oh,
Ah,
nice. You got to take it to the show.
yeah.
Haven't decided about that. I'll do the cruise.
You want to do the cruise on Saturday?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was asking what we were driving, so I figure
We're gonna meet.
me,
Yeah,
me
you
and
saw
me
the.
and me and you can come back here after that, and then we'll just take my car
Yeah, that
to
sounds good.
to
Take
meet.
it. Yeah, we're good, and we'll meet Wendy and then go to St. Augustine. She's wanting to go to a steam place to get costumes. You know,
Ah,
Wendy's not here yet.
hmm.
I think if we'd have planned rather than like, well, Wesley and Kathy are going to be at this con, you know, rather than having to make 3 hour trips, they're at Dragon Con. We should have just gone to Dragon Con and just done all this in one weekend, and everybody would have been at Dragon Con. But it's
Ah,
probably a little late for that now. I don't know. Uh, it'd be too late to get a room, I guess. But
Get around.
I had gone to Dragon Con day trips, but that's when I lived in Alabama and I was only an hour and a half away from Dragon Con. So it was easier to make a day trip there, but it's like 5.5 hours from here. Uh, but yeah, you can. I mean, you just go to Dragon Con, find a parking garage, and then just walk, you know, maybe walk a quarter mile to the thing. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass. You got to go to Will Call, and there's a huge line. It's a pain in the bum, Dragon Con is. It's so huge. There's like 30,000 attendees there. The best way to do Dragon Con is Gracie and I one time that the main hotel was the Marriott, the one in the center, and we just got a room in the Marriott, and you could just go down the lobbies and you know, that's where, you know, find some drunk celebrities there at the bar.
ah.
I'm just in it for the attendees.
The girls, the fat girls in the skimpy costumes.
Mhm.
Oh, you know, you didn't tell me that. I thought some of them were attractive.
They are. I'm just kidding. That's Tony's thing that he says that if you want to see a bunch of 400-pound women in the Princess Leia slave girl outfits,
Take what you can get.
no,
Or
there's a lot of hot.
Harley Quinn.
Oh, the Harley Quinn.
I
That's what you
wouldn't
were
say
saying.
they were. I didn't say they weren't good looking. I just say they were kind of on the plump side, which I can tend to kind of.
I'm on the
enjoy.
plump side, so I can't complain.
Yeah. Give me a second. I gotta start another render. I'm still with you. I'm just you're not gonna look at me as a boot for a minute.
Ah, it's a poop. Yeah,
Well, maybe I had to put
Well,
my
it's not
pianist back up.
there you go.
We can look at my pianist.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Well, anyway, my brother was visiting, and then Steve and Timmy cut me off. But so I got to drive a car. Hey,
What
Whoa.
car?
a VW Jetta, perfectly
Oh.
adequate little beastie. We went up the mountains.
Are they fun?
It was okay. I guess anything's fun after riding a bicycle for 6 years.
Back in the day, we gave or sold or whatever, or I don't know. My wife needed a new car, and we had a Sebring convertible, and it was really
Oh
nice.
yeah,
It got 200,000 miles on it without any issues. So,
nice.
and she said she wanted a convertible or something with a sunroof. And I said, you got to look at minis. No, they're gross. They're just they're little boxes. So I said, well, just go sit in one. So we went to the mini dealership and she got in the car and then, it has a sunroof that's almost the whole roof.
Right.
And so I was talking to the salesman and I went back in and she would just sit in the car with her mouth hanging open. So, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so we got that. And she said she was driving it on the twisties going because we lived in the mountains. And she said she just started giggling because it was so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Gracie did that the first time she discovered my. Never mind. That's disgusting, Tony.
No idea what you're talking about.
Tim has a pianist as well.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, they got a used Jetta for sale. Little turbo four banger.
Then I bought one of the jumbo minis, and it wasn't fun at all. It was a fine car.
they just got bigger and bigger. And they just it's like let's have a mini, but let's have it not be mini, and then it looked like
the Countryman.
Yeah,
it looks like a loaf of bread that kind of got squished a little bit.
It was fine. I don't have any complaints about the car at all. It just wasn't fun like the little ones.
Yeah.
I drove it to Florida and back. Took the Tot and Judy and Christina to Disney World in it.
Is that fun?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good. Give me a second. Almost ready.
Yeah, they got a 2016 Jetta 1.4 liter turbo stick shift, $6,500.
I'd worry about getting a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
A modern Volkswagen. You'd be buying coil packs every 3 weeks. Although I kind of had the same opinion about Audis, and it's been okay so far. So,
well, what year is your Audi?
17.
So that's not new. I consider new post COVID, where everything's just shit now. Yeah, I mean, even Big John, he was like, "Don't buy any appliance from 2021." Yeah, I just think anything post COVID, I don't think I would ever buy anything. So I mean, even if I kind of liked the new Mustang body style, I would get like a 15. Everything's shit now, and these manufacturers discovered that it's a lot cheaper to put all of the functions on a touch screen rather than have buttons, and the touch screens just none of them work. And I'm talking even like Aston Martins. I'm talking like top of the line cars. Nothing works anymore. Mercedes, everybody's pissed, and
they're ugly as hell. It looks like you propped a laptop up on your dashboard.
Yeah, I hate those.
Yeah, they look awful.
Jesse Kelly bought a Mercedes, and he's a radio guy I listen to. He's like 6'8", and he said he got in the car and it was adjusting to his wife's, who's like 5 foot tall, his wife's size, and it has like a thumbprint reader is how you log into the car. And apparently he had like French fry grease on his thumb, and so he was doing it and it wouldn't work and it wouldn't stop, and it was like crushing him into the steering wheel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, what a horrible. That's what, like the Mustang, it's like driving a biplane. I'm sure Darren's Porsche is similar. It's just like, seat of your pants driving in that. I mean, it really, you get spoiled with the modern cars, but it's also kind of nice not having any of that bullshit. That Mustang is so weird because, it's the dashboard on my 70 is similar to a 1958 Thunderbird. It's got the twin pods.
Mm-hmm.
And the wiper thing is so far inward because it's rakish. It goes downward and toward the front of the car as it goes down. So you really got to literally bend over forward to turn on the wipers. And there's no like relay, like the slow relay. So we got to basically, if it's barely raining, got to bend over and push it up. But now my wipers, it's like I don't even like to do that because sometimes the wipers will just get stuck. like on the up positions. So, you know, it's a lot, almost 60 years. It's like me, you know, I get stuck in different
Yeah.
positions. So I can't like, I can't bitch at it for it, but
Porsche has a little circular knob way down on the dashboard, down low, I think, and that's the intermittent. So
Oh,
it's not on the wiper stalk.
well, you
I
know,
still haven't figured out the heater. It's got 3 levers, and I read the owner's manual, and it said you can have like air conditioning blowing through the center on your body, and then have the heater on at your feet. And it said this is a
nice.
pleasant sensation. I might have it back. I might have it backwards, but something like that. But it makes, but I've read how to figure it out, and I figured it out for a while, and then I forgot. So I still don't know how to work the heaters.
what's that behind you? Is that dirt or are those barrage balloons?
That's anti-aircraft
Or
fire.
flak.
Yep.
Oh, Tony, he busted a wheel on his bicycle. You need to go to like Spacely Sprockets and get a new sprocket or Cogswell Cogs.
Yep. New wheel.
I'm watching the smallest cog is Richard Hammond's show. He started
Oh,
a car renovation,
how many
classic
times
cars.
has he been killed?
Almost a lot.
At least
Is he the one that
twice.
looks like Davy Jones, the monkeys?
Yeah, he's a little bitty guy.
The guy
And
that can't drive?
he's gotten he got killed in accidents at least twice so far.
Yeah. One of them, he crashed a dragster.
Yeah.
And then another one, I think it was he drove an electric car off a cliff or something and it exploded. Something
How
like
does
that. It
an
might not have
electric
been
car
electric.
explode? Yeah.
Oh,
I've
they
heard
always
that the actual, yeah, well, go ahead.
might not have been electric. I don't remember exactly.
I've heard
but
that those like the car enthusiasts that do those that go to those tracks hated those guys because they'd have to close everything off and um but oh yeah, we were talking about like car dash things that weren't well thought out.
Mhm.
Like Sammy Davis Jr. had a Cadillac
Yeah.
and he didn't know how to drive and he crashed the car into another car and lost his eye because Cadillac thought it would be neat to put the center of the steering when people didn't have seatbelts in the cars. He thought it would be
Right.
neat. Cadillac thought it would be neat to have a cone-shaped steering hub to
Oh,
put somebody's eye out,
yeah.
you know, and then yeah, put his eye out. It's just like, why would you?
I thought that was a BB gun that did that when he was a kid.
Yeah, he was one of the, you know, you'll be pushing up daisies next time, but you'll be a lot more than an eye out, you know, bad Bart.
Oh, you know the lady who played the chubby school teacher, she passed away.
Oh, from a Christmas Story?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, she seemed like she was, I mean, I won't say she looked old, but she did, but I mean, she looked like she was 40 when that show came out in the 80s.
Yeah, which is weird because she was like 79.
Really?
Yeah.
That means, let's do the math. It was filmed in like, well, it came out in 83. So,
Hey, let me. I'm already forgetting her name.
Miss Shields.
The actress, of course.
I know.
Was,
Nancy Parsons.
Farrah Fawcett.
see, I have there's a page on Wikipedia that's just a list of everybody who's died. But the problem is, it's all these Indians and friggin', Italian sprinter. Oh, okay. Oh, Ben Jones. Scooter passed away. He's 84.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sad. Reggie Bannister, the only guy to be in a horror movie, where the character was the same name as him. He was the guy in Phantasm who drove the Barracuda.
Her name was T. Moore.
Yeah.
How so? I just really want to just know the math. I didn't want to get chopped down a tree with an AI, query. They sure did good on her. They did good on her hairdo, and I mean, she just looked like somebody from the 40s.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
Canadian,
Yeah, she was 79. So and Christmas Tree was what, 1981?
83.
83. Yeah, so she was born in 47. So 57, 67, 77. She's been 30 plus 36.
That's young, but I guess if you put, enough frumpy clothes and a frumpy hairdo on somebody, you can do wonders.
Yeah.
Dang, I was going to get a refill, but darn, I don't want to leave you by yourself. I'll wait till he gets back.
Chair.
Looks like an Ovation guitar, doesn't it?
Yeah, with the curved back, the one piece back.
I've got my Ovation Legend 12 string. Oh, you've seen it. I've showed it on the show before.
Yeah.
Boy, that is a top shelf guitar. I've had it since 93. I worked for an electric company. We're going to turn you on, and I got my double check when I quit.
Oh,
And
okay.
I got it in the classified, and I guess, what was you asking? $600 for it, I think. This is 1993, so that's a lot of money. Maybe 650. And I asked him on the phone. I said, "Would you say six for it, or something like that?" And he says, "Well, you want to see it first?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I never played a 12 string, so I asked him at his house to,
Ah.
"Hey, can you play something? Why don't you play something on it?" And so he starts strumming, and he just plays a song. And his wife, they were going to go to dinner or something. I said, "Well, I don't want to waste any more of your time." He said he'd take six for it. And he's like, "Yeah, I bought it." And boy, that guitar has been in like every Apology None, every Treble Clef album. It's just been a workhorse. I just used the heck out of that 12 string. Unfortunately, with Ovation guitars, the plastic and the wood doesn't get along together. They're not like peanut butter and
Oh, I kind
chocolate.
of wonder. Yeah,
So
kind of
you've
wondered
got
about
to
that.
detune them when you're not using them, especially if
Oh
you store
boy.
them. And I did not make that uh, good judgment until it was too late. And there's a lot of splits along the way. The splits, it's just cosmetic. It doesn't affect the sound, fortunately, but it's still kind of annoying. And Vinny Zumo, he's had it too. And I'm like, yeah, you got to detune him. He's like, well, I sure wish I'd have known that before. Because even Jeff Lynne, that was one of his signature guitars, was his Ovation 12
Oh,
string.
okay.
And yeah, I think you can see him in videos with it, and that you can see the splits going down the. So everybody that's had an Ovation, basically, it's just something you deal with. I don't know if Darren knows, but it doesn't look like he's storing his, so it probably doesn't matter. A lot of it too is climate change. If you go into a humid environment and in a non-humid
Oh yeah.
environment, because mine split when I moved to Colorado. It wasn't used to that dryness, I guess, and
Oh
that's when
right, right,
you know.
right. Yeah, because they don't like the dry. They don't like the humidity too much either. So you got to try
Yeah,
to
I guess
find
it's
somewhere in
mostly
the
the
middle.
change. 'Cause, but when people tour, when bands tour, they're gonna get all different climates and all
Yeah,
different conditions. So I don't know how they do it. I mean, if they do an outdoor gig, it doesn't matter how the thing's stored. They're gonna have 2 or 3 hours at least where that thing's out in the elements. So I don't know how,
yeah.
and you just kind of have to deal with it. Frankie Valli, I heard Frankie Valli does like these gigs, and it's like everybody else just sings for him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, David Lee Roth was doing a lot of these guys. That's when you know that they should not tour anymore, is when they have to change the key of the songs,
Yeah.
and two, when their backup singers are doing all the work and
Right.
they're just singing the easy parts and getting the audience to sing the hard part. Hey, you know the words, sing, it's just like, anyone remember Laughter?
Jeez.
Uh, Boy, David Lee Roth, he got his it was getting sad. People were really making fun of him. That's when you
Yeah,
know
they
not to
just
do it
don't.
anymore. You know what? You know what? If you're in that and uh Sammy Hagar, when he found out David Lee Roth kind of just gave it up a week or two ago, and Sammy was panicking. He's like, with AI and everything, we've got to fight AI. You know, keep it going, Sammy. We'll do something together. He was really, I mean, to Dave, uh, he didn't want to hear that. But um, I don't know. I don't know what to say about AI music. I think it's shit, and I think most people know it. I think
Yeah.
it's like drum machines. Drummers thought they were going to get replaced by them, and to a small extent they were, but that was only by people that lived with their mom and didn't have a drum set, and could just, do stuff. But for real music, they didn't. In fact, I can't even listen to stuff. I can't listen to the old stuff that I did where I use a drum machine. I just can't listen to it,
Oh,
and I think a lot of people are like that. There's no substituting human beings in the real thing. That's why we're here, and He bred that into us, you know?
yeah.
That's why we
Well,
do this for each other.
and there was like a phase where everybody was using him, and then they would have a part in the song where it would go faster and faster, and then the drum just became. And
Yeah,
I thought that's stupid, but yeah.
it is. But,
And then one
we
person
did it.
does it, everybody has to do it. It's like the disco era when somebody decided to get a whistle, go whistle,
Then everybody
and
had
then
to do it.
then it was the whole song, which is nothing but whistles. It's like, what the
Well,
hell
it's
is
like
wrong
Cher
with
with the
you?
auto tune. That was just a gimmick in one part of her song, and
Right?
then now everybody had to do it. But no, I don't know. Like I said, we did it out of necessity because
Yeah.
we didn't have a drummer, didn't have a drum set, so we just we did it because we had to. And like I said, I can't do it.
Well,
There's
like you
just
remember
something.
those organs that they used to sell in the mall. They'd set up a temporary store in the mall, and it was like, and
Yeah,
they would have the button, the little rhythm thing would go,
yeah, the Baldwin.
yeah,
This is something that you entertain yourself in the living room with,
right,
but
right,
you don't actually make a song and try to sell it or entertain people or impress people with it. And yeah, my stepmom, she bought one of those. It wasn't a fancy one with all the different levels of buttons, but it's called a fun machine. She bought it probably in 1980,
yeah,
and it was $1,500 when she bought it. It was just this little spin it. And, like I'm saying, it was nothing fancy. It had some buttons with some different like rumbas and different little and they all sounded, and they had some different sounds like a trumpet, but they none of them sounded like the real instrument. They just sounded cheesy. And but it was fun. We had fun with it. So it was a fun machine. That's all it was, just to have fun.
yeah,
And it's like the one that I bought now, that 88 key Korg. It's got such realistic instruments, and that was $1,400 with and that was less money than her 1980 money kind of thing. And
yeah.
it's just like, geez. Uh, I'll be right back.
All
Okay.
right. Oh boy, somebody put a picture of like 5 different Batmobiles, like from the various movies, with the '66 Batmobile up front, and it just seems like after '66, the rest of them just get uglier and uglier and uglier, and then the last one is that one with the big dually truck wheels on it. It's like, yeah, that's the Batmobile, all right.
I like that one. Seems like it'd
Did
be
you?
fun to drive.
I suppose. Be
It was
noisy
designed.
though.
It was designed for jumping over rivers,
Yeah.
towing a cable, and then so they could build an instant bridge or something.
Yeah. Look at these guys.
Russian bombers, they didn't have bombs. They just dropped a whole bunch of fat Russian guys out of it, hoping they'll
Oh, have you
land on
seen
the
those where they
enemy.
had the paratroopers on the plane, and they were all riding on the wing, and they would just slide off the back of the wing?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess they had parachutes. I hope they did.
I guess they all wore red shirts in the Russian army, so
Yeah,
it
probably.
was appropriate. You had a picture or film earlier, and it was a bunch of big planes kind of gathered around in a circle, and it looked like they were parked in a crater. But as they got closer, it's like, oh, that's a crowd. But it looked like from a
Ah,
distance, it looked like a whole bunch of debris or something.
oh
Like,
yeah,
why are they parking all these planes in a crater?
I mean, crowds of people, debris. It's easy to get those mixed up.
Yeah. Debris is
Okay,
a
here's
good
the one.
French woman name.
Yeah. 1949. This is the parade of failure. That's like I don't think any of these planes ever got produced, except for the comet. There's a comet there.
Were they okay?
Well, they
So
were
these
all
aren't.
weird looking. Yeah, these are all
They
British.
weren't all. They weren't all. They weren't military though, right?
Not until
No,
they
these
became
are all
Nimrods.
liners. Yeah, but this is the 49 one. And there's
Well,
future truck drivers of America. There we go. And yeah, there's a comet. That was the prototype, I guess.
Well, they
Yeah,
eventually
somebody-
became military after that. They were kind of retired from civilian. They became the Nimrods, right? They still made when did they made the Nimrods for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't know if they built new airframes or just took the old ones and converted them.
Might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
I thought they were making Nimrods clear into the 70s and stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know if they were brand new airframes or just using the
So
old comets.
I wouldn't be volunteering to ride in that one.
Did you ever see that there was a blimp that had it was in I guess the 80s. They took the front ends of these like helicopters and there
Right.
were like it looked like a, drone. They had like
Yeah.
four. They had a lattice frame, and it had all four helicopters on it with man.
Yeah.
They were manned helicopters for some reason. I don't know why you'd have a manned helicopter, but the the blimp started, and you could hear the guys when the blimp was taking off. He's like, I don't. Those guys are brave, and you can hear a guy saying why. He's like, that just looks like some convoluted stuff. And that thing didn't get off about 50 feet off the ground before those helicopters all started falling off.
Yeah.
And the whole thing crashed and killed one of the guys.
Yeah, I remember that. It didn't take very long at all for it to start fucking up because they basically were trying to use the helicopters to augment the lift of the gas bag. But
I mean,
they were just-
in principle, it seems like that something like that can work. But don't get why,
yeah.
why would you put four guys' lives on the line and something like don't you could. You start the damn propeller on the helicopter and get out of the damn thing and just let
Yeah.
it go. I don't know. I don't like.
well,
Or
it was
have
just
one guy in the
under
center that can
design.
control
It's like
him.
I mean, it didn't even try to work. It was just it immediately started falling apart.
I know. It's like, good grief. You'd think they'd had a way to test the lift, test the load test it or something
Yeah.
before putting people in the damn thing.
Not
Some of
related
these
to
airliners were. Go ahead.
flight. No, go ahead. You're talking. What you're saying is more related to what we're talking about.
Oh, I don't know.
I
It
think
just-
we
yeah.
ran
Some
out
of
of
these
gas.
some of these were were somewhat successful. I think some of those got used in
Yeah.
Canada.
You don't want to
but-
get me into Zeppelin talking because I won't shut up.
Yeah.
Hi, Wendy Lou.
Wendy
You
Lou.
came just in time. We were getting deep into the aircraft stuff, which is
Yeah.
sometimes okay, but it can if we got people listening. I was telling them, Wendy, it's kind of a shame that we didn't plan earlier because Wesley and them they're all going to be at Dragon Con, and probably everybody's at Dragon Con Labor Day weekend. But that would take more planning. That we'd probably have to have a room there but I don't know. It might make more sense than taking 2 or 3 trips down to Tampa area because I don't know. But it's like I said, it's probably too late now for all that. I told them I used to make day trips to Dragon Con, but that's when I lived in Alabama and it was only an hour and a half away. So it was a lot easier to just do a day trip. But It's like 5.5 hours from here. Um, yeah, Darren might take his car to the cruise this Saturday, so that'll be neat.
Gee.
We're going, yeah, it's gonna it's going to stop at a brewing company thing. I'm wondering if it's that building, that mid-century building with the big glass front. Looks like it used to be like a 50s car dealer. I went there once. It was neat inside. It's real big. I guess it had to have been big if they'd had cars in it and stuff.
Whee.
Yeah, she said I was telling them the best thing, the time I ever had there was when Gracie and I had a room at the Marriott, which was the center hotel at Dragon Con. And it was so neat. You just get dressed and go out the room and go downstairs, and you're in the middle of everything. I mean, I think even the celebrity floors were there at the Marriott, so it was just, ooh, lightning. Did you see that, Darren?
Yeah, it's flying around there.
No, lightning. But
No, I took the dogs out and it was kind of distant, lots of distant lightning. Yeah.
no, I hadn't seen it yet until now. Um, I had that in Illinois on the way to Missouri. You had that heat lightning. It wasn't heat lightning. It was an actual storm in the distance because it got me. But yeah, it was. I loved that being on like a road trip, and the heat lightning is like makes the whole clouds pink or different. Like way out in the distance, and it's just real active. It gets a wonderful light show. I love that stuff.
We were coming back through Kansas when I had to buy that minivan to come home. And it just seemed like Kansas ought to be called Big Sky because it was the middle of the night and it was lightning from horizon to horizon like that.
Wow.
It was pretty neat. And it just drove it home how far you could see.
It is neat. Yeah, I was flying at night going over Texas, and there was one of those major storms. It was like world news, violent storm.
Oh yeah.
But it took so long to fly over that storm. It was just so big. It's like, wow. I mean, it seemed like it must have taken a half an hour or an hour to fly over that storm.
But my dad was an engineer in England, an aeronautical engineer, and he left in 52, and just about everybody left with him. So the whole British aircraft industry just went right in the toilet in the early 50s. They called it the brain drain. And I know that none of you, you've sworn never to watch a Beatles movie, but if you watch Help, which is kind of a silly movie, the main bad guy is always talking about the brain drain. He can't find engineers to design, bad guy technology.
Well, I've never
the United States.
I've never blackballed a Beatles movie. It just never had.
I'm just making a joke, dude. You do the same thing to me, and you get mad at me when I get mad. So
Well, quit getting mad at me when I don't watch a Beatles movie. I
no,
just never had.
Only assholes and idiots don't watch Beatles movies.
No, I think you and Molly are the first people I ever met that would even watch a Beatles movie. It was just never in our canon. It was never in our. I don't know the word I'm looking. It was never in our wheelhouse. I don't know what I'm looking for. It's never came up.
I understand because they're the most unpopular band in the history of bands.
It doesn't. You know what? I've got 2 Beatles albums ever. I've got Magical Mysteries Tour and Revolver because I liked the songs. That was it. And I was almost going to buy Abbey Road, and I think Darren and Brian might have been at the record store with me, and it was either going to be Abbey Road or I think Count 3 and Pray from Berlin, and I think they convinced me that Berlin should win, so that's what I ended up with.
Is that the Berlin album that has that sex, the smell of sex song on it?
No, that was Pleasure Victim.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't have anything to do with the smell. It was just role playing is what it was about.
All of their songs were pretty damn X-rated. And Terry Nunn had said that they were young And they were, I mean, they were very young. They were kids when they did it. And they just said it seemed like neat if we were just kind of masquerading as adults and made like adult kind of songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said she's glad she didn't get the Princess Leia role because she said that she wouldn't have been able to sing for, do Berlin and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that way we got Star Wars and Berlin.
Yeah. There you go.
That is true. Personally, I think I've gotten more pleasure out of Berlin than I ever did Star Wars.
They were really good.
They were, and we got to meet them.
Yep.
I had there was a YouTube kind of, they were talking about Berlin, kind of a brief thing about how um John Crawford, the bass player that wrote all their stuff, how he didn't know Take My Breath Away was on Top Gun until he was watching Top Gun in the theater.
For goodness sake.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about the song. So basically the producers just got Terry Nunn to sing this thing and he didn't even know about it. No wonder he was pissed. And he didn't get money.
Yeah.
He didn't get any money off of that. I'd have been pissed too. So that's kind of what the thing was about. And I kind of mentioned in the comments, I talked about how, my brother and I, back then we hated each other. But one day he just pulled me out of science class and said, "Hey, we're going to go meet Berlin." I'm like, "Well, I don't have an album for them to sign." Or he's saying, "Here, you can have my tape." And we got to meet Berlin, and I kind of told them about the story when we met them and what it was like. It was a cool. Thank you, Darren. If I didn't thank you for that,
I don't think we hated each other. Sometimes we got on each other's nerves, but mostly
yeah. Well, it was more dramatic, saying
It's so funny
what?
yesterday. But my brother and I, we were, because we took a drive up to the mountains and we were just talking about stuff from the old days, and I'd mentioned stuff he would do to me, and he had no memory of it.
I think younger brothers make that stuff up.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's what it is. But it was.
And did he say, "I didn't make you do it"?
I didn't make you do
No,
a goddamn.
no, he did.
You should have
he
commented on. I didn't make you do it.
No, he didn't disbelieve me. He just had no memory. He just said, "Wow, did I do that?"
Hey, then you could have just made stuff up, Tony. Then remember when you chained me to that chalkboard and you took all the started.
No, that
drawing.
was the other kids in the neighborhood who like tied me to a pole or some crap and ran off. And then my brother discovered me, and then he went and found the kid, beat the shit out of him. You remember that part?
Yeah, I remember stuff
because you're supposed to beat up your younger brother, but if anybody else messes with your younger brother, you're supposed to go beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, even Dad said that. Like Uncle Dick used to always beat the hell out of him, but he said if anybody else did, Uncle Dick, get on that. He's like, I'm the only one allowed to do that. Like,
yeah.
My Uncle Dick had a shotgun, and he accidentally it fell on the floor and it shot his leg, and he got all that saltpeter or whatever in his leg.
Rock salt.
Yeah. I had a long conversation with Debbie this year, and we were kind of talking about Dick and how, like, my last memory of him was when I drove him to Missouri in his van, and how mean he was. And she said it was the stroke, because he had just had that stroke, and I didn't even think about that. I'm just like, wow, Dad was right. He is such an asshole, but it's like, no, she's like, yeah, he got mean there. And I think that's what they do. Like the strokes, sometimes they'll get people really mean like that. He wasn't mean. He didn't like beat me up, but it made me where I was sure glad the trip was over,
Oh, yeah.
Give me a second. I'm going to start a new render. I'll be here. I'll still talk.
Right. Yeah, he's making big fat rendering big fat as we do the show.
No, I'm here. I'm just do what?
No, go ahead.
Making a rendering joke. You render fat in order to make soap or some shit.
Well, as we've been doing this, I have been rendering Judy running amok. In fact, Rob is going to a Hulk has run amok. She's running all over the place. She picked up a tank, a rusty gas tank, and she threw it at the oil platform. And now she's going to kick the shit out of the Stacy GTO.
Man.
Tracy's like in the GTO, and I'm that's what I'm rendering now. She's going to kick the shit out of it.
Man.
I think Terry's going to jump on her, like like the chicken fight, like the kids,
Right.
and he's going to wrap his hands over her eyes and say, stop. We still got more questions to go through. And I think she calms down and becomes normal again. But that's kind of where I am.
Yeah, that was such a big thing back in the 70s, having the girl riding on the guy's shoulders. And then somebody, one of the guys who's sick in that way showed a picture of after she got off the guy's shoulders, there was a little red patch on the back of his neck.
Yeah, I forgot that the chicken fights were a pool thing. I just thought it was something that they did. And I'm just like, you're just asking for trouble. You're asking for people crying and getting hurt if you actually had kids.
Yeah, it's a long way to fall. It's not like the movies where somebody could fall over. And in real life, if somebody actually loses consciousness and falls over, they could bust their head wide open. It's like,
well, I wasn't even thinking about falling. I'm just thinking you're having two kids beat each other up on head level with you. You're going to have eyes out. You're going to have teeth out. You get, not to be a wimp, but you getting hit by a kid can hurt too if it's in the right spot in your face. It's like,
oh yeah,
you don't want that shit to happen.
Saw a clickbait article, and what is it? Is it the Falcon? That's the new air-to-air plane. 350 million. What's it called? You have the Raptors, right? I don't know the new planes. You have two types of new fighter planes, right? You have
the Falcon is the F-16. That's brand new as of 50 years ago.
No,
there's the F-47 they're talking about now.
Well, maybe that's the one. So you got the new multi-purpose one, and then you have the new one that's more specialized, higher tech dogfire one.
Yeah.
And they were saying it's so far at 350 million each has scored so many kills, but none of them were against planes, which is what it's designed to do. It's like the Iran stuff. I'm like, well, how many planes does Iran have flying around to shoot down? You got to have planes fighting you to shoot them down, right?
Well, no, they pulled off a nice, fun little mission with an old F-5 from the 80s, and that was they took out an American forward base or some shit with it. So wow,
yeah,
they got some. It's just that it's not. You can basically discount anything our drunken friend Pete Hexeth says. Because we sink their whole Navy 14 different times. What they do is they stuff their ships with cork. And so every time you sink their whole entire Navy, it all just pops right back up again.
That was our secret weapon when we were trying to build boats when we were younger, because they would always sink. So we would put styrofoam under them.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we had a lot of more successful boats after that.
Yeah, there you go. See, the Iranians picked up on that.
So
no, we had the little boats. It was called Boaterific. It was a little battery-powered electric, and it had basically a bilge pump built into it that was running all the time. So if it flipped over or whatever, it would just shoot the water out.
I always thought it would be fun to make remote-controlled boats and arm them and have fights against each other.
I think has been done. Problem is, the people staying around the shore might
get hit. Yeah, that we thought of that.
Yeah.
So talk about a happy accident. So after, I do I copied and pasted some of these movements because, when people run, their arms and their legs, it's so complex.
Yeah.
So I copied and pasted her movements to where she ran one direction. Now she's running back, and I copied. So after she kicks the shit out of the car, it's just a happy accident. She takes one of her arms, she just put fist pumps up in the air with it, like right after she does. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I'm gonna leave it. It just I like that kind of stuff that she even has her head like like the whole rock and roll. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Don't care.
And that is, yeah. That's why the old Disney movies where they would have cartoons and dancing, they would do they call it rotoscope, where they have an actual dancer, and then they would animate around the actual dancer.
That's so the Rankin Bass like the Lord of the Rings cartoons were all rotoscoped.
Yeah, or the Fantasia, where the hippos dancing around. I think they didn't have actual hippos, but they had like dancers, and then they would.
It kind of makes sense, but they were like literally rotoscoped for that Rankin Bass stuff, and for those listeners who don't know, we had the one who rotoscoped Frodo in the Lord of the Rings. She's in the last page of Summer movie with her cameo. So there's a lot of people that were into Rankin Bass and Sid and Marty Krofft. They should love Last Page of Summer.
Yeah,
it's interesting. If you look on IMDb, there's actually a in the trivia. There's actually somebody put in trivia. I didn't do it. Somebody put in that was like that the cast of Land of the Lost was reunited for that movie or something. It's a neat piece. I mean, it's true, kind of. It is true. So it's just nice that somebody else picked it up. So.
Right. Wonder who it was. I wonder if it was in our circle or just
it wouldn't have been somebody in our circle. I could tell you. The only person that I know who it could have been is maybe Ricardo, who's that huge Apology Not fan that plays the chef.
Oh, okay.
Because he put a picture of himself in front of the microphone and put it on I want it for myself for the pictures for IMDb, and I asked him if he could take it down because right now I just got pictures from the movie. I felt bad because he was so excited. I said, but it's a great picture. Can you use that for your profile? And I'm just saying for right now, maybe later, just right now I'm promoting it. I don't want to seem like a butthole, but if he's going to do that, then I'll just have a picture of me in front of the damn microphone. It's a cartoon. But maybe I should have let him do it. I don't care. I don't even go there. I don't think IMDb even puts a rating on your stuff anymore until it's got so many ratings.
Yeah.
Because I think I went for myself. I think it's still unrated.
Yeah. The last time I checked out IMDb, a thing popped up and said, "Do you want to integrate your IMDb account with
Amazon
Prime?" And I thought, "Oh, jeez."
Yeah, Amazon bought IMDb. So, but
yeah,
there's a lot of shenanigans too. A lot of, but if you look at the graph for Last Page of Summer, it's like I think there's a lot. I think the dislike bar the 1 star is as big as the 10. As the big. A lot of trolls who didn't even watch the movie.
Oh, cool.
Because I think most of the 1-star ratings happened before it was even released. But it's still got like an 8.4. I mean, that's pretty freaking amazing even though it's just doesn't have a lot of ratings, But I've got the same score as Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars has like 10,000 ratings, and I've got like 20, but still. Like, who does that? Especially an indie film. I can almost understand review bombing a movie that's political.
You're some mainstream piece of shit.
I can almost understand review bombing that without seeing it. Like if it's like the Al Gore environmental thing, it's like piece of shit. What are you doing? But an indie film, give people a break for fuck's sake. It's hard enough doing all that, having to do everything.
It's like throwing your drink at somebody hitchhiking.
Do what?
Like, come on. Like throwing your drink at somebody hitchhiking. It's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already starting out behind the 8 ball. And you gotta fuck with him.
Exactly. Punching down. Well, not that the people, the people that gave it 1 stars weren't punching down. They were just talentless assholes that were jealous,
just
pretty much jealous people. But still, it's just.
Well, the thing is also with IMDb is if you look up a movie and you start looking at the trivia and all that crap, then a big thing will pop up in the whole screen and say, "What was your rating of this movie?" And I think some people say, and then they'll put it 1 star just because they didn't like the thing popping up on them.
But that's still a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
I know that's frustration, but still don't do that for an indie movie. You know, it's just like.
Well, I always say the movie was wonderful, even if it's some piece of shit.
Well, I hate everything, so it's I do bend in favor of like there was this friend of mine who would take me to see terrible movies, and there was a redo of Ben-Hur that was in the theaters 8 or 10 years ago, and she took me to watch that. It was okay. It was fine. Didn't have a problem with it, but people were just panning it on IMDb. So I gave it a 10-star just to balance it out because I didn't think it was worth. So I will do that, even though I didn't think it was a 10, but I thought it was better than what people were giving it. So I try to kind of help it, So I've done that before. She's the one that we went together to see Incredibles 2, which is where I decided never to watch another movie again.
Yeah.
Except Deb Milstein and I think that person, Denise, they took me kicking and screaming to watch Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh.
But I'd already blackballed Hollywood by then. So I said, I'll buy the refreshments, but you got to buy the tickets because I'm not going to give Hollywood any more of my money. And so we watched that, and it ended up being like notoriously, even though it made $1 billion, it was kind of notoriously the worst music biopic ever made, as far as like anything factual. And I don't think the only other things I've seen at the theater since then, I did see Sound of Freedom, but that was almost an indie movie.
Yeah.
And then I saw Am I Racist, which was another basically indie movie. I think that's all I've seen in the theater. I don't watch the Hollywood stuff.
I think I may be forgetting something, but I believe the last time I went to a movie theater was 2011, and I saw the Skyfall, the James Bond movie. And calling it a theater is a stretch. It was about the size of a 2-car garage. And the screen was about the same size as the screen Art had in his house.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's just like, why even watch it in the theater? Because it's like, in the old days when I was a kid, the theaters were actually big, and now they can put like 50 different little rooms in a multiplex, and the rooms is no bigger than a living room. What is that? Is that a DC-9 or is that a 707 DC-9?
Huh? DC-8.
Yeah, that says Douglas DC-8. DC, that's what I meant. Stupid. DC-9 had the engines in the back.
Yeah.
That's what Darren and I, we took one from, I think, St. Louis we had a break in Chicago is where we had to change planes. And when we were on our way there, we made a deal where Darren said he'd get the window seat on the way to Chicago, and I could have the window seat on the way to Jacksonville from there. So when we got into the DC-9 to go to Jacksonville, we had the very back seat, and there wasn't a window. We were just by the jet engines. He's like, "Well, there's your window seat." I'm not complaining. I thought it was funny. It's a funny story.
Wait a second. That one doesn't have a window seat.
That's a weird one. Why didn't they make more planes look like pencils like that? You'd think it would have been more. You there, John?
That'd be fun.
I guess I'm trying to stay awake.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I was waiting for you
Well,
to say,
you
I
killed
didn't make
everybody
you
on
do a
this
guy.
show.
I didn't. That one looks a little pudgy.
Yeah, that's a Skyray. It's actually the fastest fighter in the world for a little while.
Is that Willow Run?
Don't know because that was consolidated. This Douglas, they were mainly out of Long Beach and Santa Monica.
Those that don't know, Willow Run was a place, I guess it was in Detroit. They made
Detroit, yeah.
bombers. Yeah, they made bombers. It was like the biggest building in the world.
Yep.
It was, I mean, not tall, but it was just about
And
the size of a town.
They couldn't get a patch of land. They were trying to buy this one patch of land and they couldn't get it. So the assembly plant ended up being L-shaped. And there were 4 gigantic turntables right at the corner. And so 4 planes could get on the 4 turntables and they would turn 90 degrees and then they would keep moving the production line that way.
Yeah,
Because they couldn't get that one patch of land. And then Kaiser Fraser, I think, bought, well, first it was, Kaiser, they
well, I
actually
thought
built
Ford
the
had
Henry
it
J's
before
there.
them, didn't
Yeah, well, it was Ford building the B-24s for Consolidated.
Oh, okay.
But then after the war, they sold it to Kaiser, and then it was they made the Henry J there.
That's an awful big building for such a small car.
Yeah.
I guess it's all gone now. It's just,
I don't know. I don't know if it's still standing.
I think I tried to find it and it was just, it was like, this is where it was, or I don't know.
Because GM ended up buying it, but I don't know if they kept the same building or if they did something new. It was like the Packard plant. The Packard plant sat there, pretty much unused since 1955. And I think just in the last few years, they finally tore it down.
Yeah. That's the biggest shame is Packard. Like I said, that should have been, they should have kept going. They could have had some really, because it's a good name. It's not like Edsel. Even Fraser, it's kind of a dumb name. I mean, Packard, it's a good name. I don't know.
Yeah, because they were a cut above Cadillac and Lincoln,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should have just kept that market. They'd have probably been fine. They get these executives or these guys and they do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to.
And they were talking about merging with American Motors, with Nash and Hudson. And for a while, you could get a Nash with a Packard V8 in it. I think 55, 56.
All right,
and that fell through.
Dang, Wendy's been here the whole time. I'm sorry, Wendy. She's going to help her mom and come back.
Oh, okay. You said hi to her, but you came in.
We did. We got a girl in the audience, and we're being boring talking about stuff but I don't know. I didn't know she was there.
Too stupid to know about cars or planes.
Well, no, I mean, if she'd have said something, I'd have kept talking about stuff that she's more interested in. So, but I didn't. Sometimes I don't know if our chatters are there because they're so quiet, and then we get talking about our own stuff.
Yeah.
Darn's gonna fall asleep. Everybody's leaving.
Yeah, and poor old Steve. I don't know what the hell. The thing is, I don't know how he knew his audio wasn't working when he didn't even try opening the thing. I don't know.
Why didn't he just try on his phone?
Suspicious.
Yeah. I remember they had the long body DC-8s because, one of my neat memories, it was like the only time I went to school where I actually liked at school, or at least my memories are okay of it. And that's when I went to Altura when I was 8 or 9 years old, when we lived in that trailer park. And the swing sets, they had 2 swing sets, one that faced east and west and one that faced north and south. So no matter which way because I loved the swing, and no matter which way I could face, there was always something neat to look at. Like one, you could look at the mountain range and look at all the little trees on the mountains. And the other, if I face north, I could watch all the planes coming into Stapleton, all the airliners.
Oh.
And you could see the not Best Western, but the Western Airlines with the W, all the, and I always remember the DC-8s. They look like snakes. They were just so long. It was neat.
Yeah, I flew on a bunch of them between San Francisco and Hawaii, and then Los Angeles and Hawaii.
I don't know if I've ever flown. I doubt I've flown on one, but I flew on a lot of DC-9s. They were like pretty prolific back in the 90s.
Yeah, they used a lot of DC-9s inter-island in Hawaii. So
And
they
I think
took a lot of
Boeing
short
bought them and
routes.
called them MD-80s or something.
No, well, no, they were MD-80s because it was McDonnell Douglas. Because they were Douglas, and then McDonnell bought out or merged with Douglas, so it became McDonnell Douglas. And
What was
then
it between an MD-80 and a DC-9 then?
it was just the later version. It was a
Oh,
DC-9
okay.
Super 80, basically a stretch DC-9, and then they decided to call it the MD-80. And then when Boeing bought out Douglas, McDonnell Douglas, I think at the end of the 90s, they kept making it. They renamed it the Boeing 717.
It's about time.
damn silly.
It's like the one they skipped. It's just like,
Well, the 717 was basically the KC-135 tanker. That was their internal designation for it. That's what
and I guess
happened there.
did they ever make a 777?
Yep. It's one
You
of the
think
big
that would be the
twin-engine
lucky
ones.
one? Do what?
You would think. But the
740
DC-8 was actually the first airliner to exceed Mach 1. It did it in a dive, but a shallow dive, and actually
Oh, the
exceeded
vomit
Mach
comment?
1. No, it didn't.
So
vomit,
was it
just went as
intentionally?
fast. Yes, no, they actually sold it to Canadian Pacific Airline, and on flying it over, they decided they had a chase plane and all that, and got permission and everything, and put it in a shallow dive, and got it over Mach 1. It did it, but damaged like one of the ailerons, and like one of the flaps kind of got munched up a little bit. It didn't really like it, so they had to take it back and fix it.
You remember there were a couple pilots, or pilot and co-pilot, that they had an empty aircraft they were taking back from something, and they decided to try that kind of shit, and the damn thing went into a stall and killed them. But they were trying to do that stupid stuff, I don't know. It's not the Mile High Club, but it was something similar, where they, no, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't sex. It was about it, but it was some kind of club where they get so high with this commercial plane and do it. I don't know what they were trying to do, but it didn't work out well for them. And I think they were too ashamed to even tell the tower what exactly was wrong, or they probably could have saved themselves. Steve likes that stuff. He likes plane crashes for some reason, so he probably knows about it.
Because I remember watching back when I used to watch the news on TV. It was about 10 or 12 years ago. There was a B-52 that basically was flying vertical like this and went right into the ground. And I only recently found out because the pilot was screwing around. I think he was doing stunts around some kind of air show, and the thing just ended up, with the wings vertical, and just went, because you're not making much lift, so the wings are like not facing this way,
doing
that way. Yeah.
Did you ever see that video? This is from several years ago. Of that, it looked like a 747 flying over, and it does a barrel roll.
Oh yeah, no, that was the very first what they called it the Dash 80. It was the prototype for the KC-135 tanker, and then the 707.
But this would look like it was taken by someone's cell phone, like they were. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't, but yeah, it was home movies.
Was it real?
Very, because it's a barrel roll where the airplane doesn't ever see any more than 1 G positive. You're just kind of going around, but you could be drinking your drink, and the thing you wouldn't even notice, because you're maintaining one positive G in the aircraft at all times.
I was assuming it was some kind of 3D masterwork, someone making a 3D model look real, and because before AI, people used to actually could do stuff like that. They had an airplane come in for a landing, and he when he landed, he got up. It was like became like he stood up like a robot and went to use the bathroom, like sit on a pot in the hangar.
Well, they tease him a lot.
No, I mean, yeah, he's sitting on the boat. No, I'm just, I mean, it was done. I know it didn't really happen, but it was like done in 3D, and it was way before AI. So, I mean, there was a phase where people were doing. There, I showed you that guy that made that independent short film about that kind of demented genius that was making weird roller coasters and thrill rides that were just crazy and scary looking, and but they looked so real you swore you were looking at the real thing. It was before AI, but it was when 3D was getting good, where people could actually fool you. That's what I thought the plane going upside down was doing.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, the pilot's name was Tex Johnston. I read his book years ago. I actually found it. He wrote a book, about his career as a test pilot. And back when the supermarkets used to have bookshelves. And so I found it there, and I
Well, let me see if I can. Welcome back, Wendy. Let me see if I can find it, because I think we're talking about two
no, I've
different
already
things.
found it. I just, the problem is it's in 240p. So
Can you give me the link? Because if I'll be impressed as heck if that was real. Anyway, sorry, Wendy. We're doing plane talk, but
yeah, the problem is that
we'll talk when we go to St. Augustine. I guess we'll talk a little more about all the Comic-Con stuffs. That lady said that my blue tunic was shipped, but that's been like a week and a half ago. So I don't know what to do about that piece of shit. I'm so sorry I ever bought that thing. Never buy anything from a small business like Etsy. That's my advice, I guess. You just get screwed. You get screwed by the big ones too. I don't know. I really got screwed.
Falls under my philosophy of never do anything.
That's probably the best thing to do. I would really like to find somebody who's like a seamstress or somebody that knows how to do clothes and stuff, because I can take my old tunic, kind of the greenish one, and if we could dye it blue, I know that would probably make it a lot darker, but I mean, I'm kind of okay with that. I just want something that'll kind of go with kind of the gunmetal drow body paint, And even then, I'm going to have to get. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought it. The thing is sleeveless, and I don't think I want to go with a sleeveless look. I'm not like a 30-year-old anymore, so I might have to have an undergarment with some sleeves to go out and make it two-tone, because Terry kind of did that. He had a shoulder thing with his. I'd kind of like to make it look like, I noticed, Wendy, when Terry was the drow in the new movie, he had a green tunic, and I didn't realize that his was green, but it had a lot of gold lace and different things going on with it. So I mean, even mine might work. I don't know. I just got to do more than what it is. Oh, she doesn't mind plain talk.
Why not? Turn down audio anyway. Okay, it's a really short clip.
So Wendy, I guess it doesn't mean too much because it's such a close up, but the door I'm sitting in is to the bedroom Darren and I used to stay in when we were at the lake house where my dad lived, where we spent our summers. And I modeled that house like I did some of the other childhood stomping ground kind of places. And it's just kind of a close up. You can't really tell what's going on, but that's where because I like being sentimental. I like.
Oh, of course, me too.
I feel like I'm doing the show from that house. I even put the little tadpole in the toilet. There was a glob of
Nobody
paint.
puts tadpole in the toilet.
No, there was a toilet when we were kids. There was in the center of the toilet, like where the drain part is of the toilet. there was like what looked like a little whale or a tadpole or something, and it was black. It's like somebody, we even made a rhyme about it, like a song about like, I don't know. We kind of figured somebody was painting and got paint in the toilet, but it just stayed there.
Ah,
So I mean, it just, and even when we were teenagers or 17 or whatever, that little thing was just, it was always a part of it. So I put it there. You had to, you know.
My guess is it is a place where the ceramic chipped off or something, and that was the black metal underneath it, maybe. I don't know.
That sounds more feasible because you'd think a paint wouldn't have lasted that long. Uh, but it was a perfectly round. I mean, it looked like a perfectly round kind of a whale thing. It wasn't jagged or anything. So, but I mean, that makes more sense than anything else.
Yeah, but I could be wrong. I have no idea.
Do you remember it?
I remember there was a song about it.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we made a song about it. Like our Uncle Frank was. It was a funnier song, but I don't remember any of it. It was at least funny when we were 6, so it probably involved pooping or something.
Probably not as funny now. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It, you know, poop was a lot funnier then. Uh,
The hell is that plane doing?
oh, is that the video you're talking about?
yep.
That's not it, though. Let me see if I can.
Stop saying it's not it. That's the one. Come on, just the.
Are you
'cause it was a
sure?
very.
Tim
That's the
hates
guy
that
who did
guy.
it. That's Tex Johnston.
Oh, I think I found it. I do believe it's fake because yeah, this is it. And I knew it was fake when it happened, but it like I said, it was before AI when things were.
That ain't fake.
Okay, it's not a 747. It is. It says it's a 740. Okay, so here it is. I'll just give you the link in our Facebook chat. It's fake, but it was done well, is what I'm trying to say. And it was nice because that's back when actually it was a 4AI and you could tell people actually put some effort into it. It was still art, even
Yeah,
though
well,
it was
what I've got up here is not fake.
Oh, I know it's not fake, but I just wanted to show you what I'm talking about
Yeah.
because what I'm talking about is different.
Okay.
Does everything have to be so difficult? All right, I have to give it to you in Zoom chat because Facebook doesn't. Well, maybe it'll work. Here we go. All right. And you're going to say, well, that's fake, but it is. It was just kind of cool looking. So,
Yeah.
Darren's got a puppy behind him.
Ah. Puppy dog.
He's a good
Sleeping
dog,
puppy.
even though he shits everywhere.
I thought it was
Oh,
just
whatever
pisses
you-
everywhere.
No, it's mostly shit.
Have you thought about
Which
getting
is-
them?
Which he doesn't really do diarrhea or anything, so you can just kind of sweep it up. So
Yeah.
it could be worse.
You know what you ought to try? I know I'm not an expert. Oh, cork. A baby pin. Put him in the baby pin, and then when he's got, at certain times, take him out of the pin and take him outside and put him back in the pin. That's basically. I think it's pretty similar to how you like they call it cage training. It's
yeah.
something like that. I mean, it's worth looking up. Look up, just Google it, how to train a Chihuahua not to shit everywhere. And I'm sure there's people they'll tell you. I'll Google it, and AI will tell me how to stop Chew
Baka from shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
No, I knew this guy had his little puppy, and he brought a little puppy to work, and the puppy takes a dump, and I swear the shit was bigger than the puppy. It's like
It happens.
nothing but intestine. I guess the puppy was like all intestine. It's like that came out of that.
It's like the expression of you tell somebody I shit bigger than you. How do you do the inflection so that it's clear that I shit bigger than you are, not I shit bigger than you shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking comment with that plane doing it said AI before AI.
Yeah.
It said translate to English.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Did you see it?
Oh, Virgin Atlantic, yeah. Because it can be done. This is 2 for $25. Oh boy, bacon cheeseburger tacos. Okay, well, make up your mind. And then there's a bunch of girls doing girl stuff with their butts, and here comes wee. Oh yeah, that's yeah. See, that's an aileron roll. Then we would not be able to do that.
I know that's it. It just kind of looked cool. It was a cool
Yeah,
prank or whatever. It was well
right.
done, you know.
It's just the 1G barrel roll can actually be done with just about any airplane because it doesn't actually subject the airplane to any real bad G forces.
It seemed like what that one was going too slow for that, basically.
Well, no, he was doing an aileron roll. It's a different thing.
Oh,
That's because the 747 is not designed to handle negative G's of any kind.
yeah.
What I mean is spinning on its axis versus doing a circle. They call it a barrel because it's like they're around a barrel, and it's
Right.
always the centrifugal force is giving the plane 1G positive.
I see what I know
to
what
the
you're
plane.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, this poor plane.
Yeah, if I was a plane, I'd rather have the propeller be my tongue than my nose. 'Cause I just think the propeller nose never looked right.
Yeah.
They kind of look goofy.
It just looked like it's struggling. It's like I'm trying to blow this air back, and I ain't getting anywhere.
Not knowing anything about flying, because I've never done it, it still seems to me like a biplane crop duster deal
Mm-hmm.
would be about the most fun thing to fly.
Imagine it would be.
What about
Especially
one of those pits?
Yeah, the little biplane.
That's what was on that the Junkman, that Toby Haliki.
Mhm.
They had one of those spits it was in the car chase, and that plane actually almost decapitated him. It hit him head on in his Cadillac accidentally. And
Ooh.
but I don't know if that impressed the hell out of me and Lloyd watching that movie, because that biplane crashed in the road just right in the middle of the camera. I mean, it was a great camera angle. Everything was, and I don't know if that was an accident, because I don't know. It didn't seem like something you would do on purpose, crash a biplane like that. You'd think that would, with all that fiberglass, you think that could kill somebody pretty dead.
Yeah.
It was a good scene, so yeah, I'm sure that was probably an accident and he just kept it in. But he was showing like
Because
the
he was
behind
good
the
at that.
scenes.
Because you remember in Gone in 60 Seconds, the very early part of the movie where the guy's out there at this train derailment. It was an actual train derailment that just happened to happen, and he just grabbed his cameras and went down there and filmed.
Yeah, and that part where he wrapped the Mustang around that light pole was real. It was an
Yeah.
accident,
Yeah.
and but they
Yeah, he
kept
was
it
in the
in.
hospital for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. But kept it in there, and then of course he ended up floofing in that third movie.
Yeah.
That was like the freakest accident.
It was a helicopter, right? Was it?
No, it was they were it was filmed in Buffalo, and they were going to have it was either a train was going to derail or a truck, and it was going to hit a water tower, and the water tower was going to fall over. And the
Oh.
city they said it was too dangerous, and they had to fight red tape and politics for a long time and get all this insurance and everything to get this thing to do it. Well, the damn thing fell prematurely, and it went through the power lines, and it snapped a telephone pole, and the guy wire went and got his neck
Oh,
and
boy.
killed him right there on the spot. Of all people, it kills the guy that it's his movie.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it on because I was kind of a fan of his at the time. I liked his movies, and I saw,
Mhm.
it was a current affair saying next 60 seconds to death. I'm like, what? And I watched it, and they showed his dead body there and his wife screaming over him. It was really pretty. It wasn't graphic, but he was just there face down, and they had him
Yeah.
interviewed right before it, and it was pretty weird watching that. But yeah, they never released that movie.
Oh, yeah.
But they had like some semi truck that had a cone on the front of it, like it was just like would scoop cars out of the way, kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know what. Darren kind of watched some of the stuff. He wasn't the best at like actually storytelling or plot. He was basically a guy that with $1 billion that could just
I don't
crash
know
a
who we're
hundred.
talking about.
Huh?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Ever Gone in 60 Seconds?
I remember it was a movie.
It was a 70s movie. Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage remade it or something in the 90s,
Yeah,
but
was
it was like a cult classic, but it was basically a guy that had a lot of money and basically decided to make his movie and crash a whole bunch of cars. It was pretty entertaining, but it wasn't none of his movies were very good on like typically like 70s B movie kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm doing some of that with the new animation.
Ah,
Uh, I think this will be the first. Well, I did a stunt with the one for myself with the car doing the barrel roll at the end.
right.
So kind of like it's fun to do. I don't know, it's fun. That's what I used to do when I was on the back of textbooks, or the test papers, and just blow up zeppelins and
Oh, yeah.
doing the same thing I did when I was 10, just drawing dragons and zeppelins and cars.
Yeah.
And there's some people, if they ask, why don't you ever do, draw cows and tigers? And because I didn't ever draw that when I was a kid. I always
Yeah.
just like,
Well,
I like cars and dragons and stuff
yeah.
and boots
Ah,
occasionally.
and boots.
Now, that was more of a fluke, the boot.
You know what's funny is that one of these is getting restored just for static display now. So, oh, why can't they make it flyable? Each one of those engines is 28 cylinders. Trying to get one of those in running condition, let alone 6.
Yeah, that Flying Fortress, that museum said it cost them like $250,000 a year to maintain that plane.
Oh
So
yeah, and those are far simpler engines.
yeah, so I mean when I rode it was like what, 6 passengers? That was like their minimum. They had to have like 6 people to make it worthwhile. And at like $550 a passenger. That's still
Yeah,
they
they
probably
had one of
stay.
those. It wasn't that plane, but there was one that's based out of the West Coast, and it was a tiered thing. It was a different, with different costs depending on where you sat. And I think the cheapest was like $450.
I love the way they did it. They wanted everybody to experience every station during the flight. And I think that was really neat. And
Oh yeah,
the way they kind of set it up and like, I need a volunteer. Okay, you're going to help man, what is it? The bomber, what was it? The gun in the front,
yeah.
during takeoff. And I'm like, well, shit, I need another volunteer, and I raised my hand. Okay, you're going to go into the cockpit during takeoff and help the pilots. You didn't actually help them, but it was so neat the way they did it.
Yeah.
And you can actually, when I took the video of it, you can actually see the guy, the kind of the foreman guy look at me and point down, so it was my turn to go into the gunner thing. It
Oh,
was just
yeah.
neat. I'm so glad that I got the GoPro because the video was so good of it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't lose it by pulling it over the sunroof. They had like an open sunroof, and I kind of I took the GoPro and took a nice picture of the whole of the plane and the tail, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
sky and everything. I had to do everything to keep that camera in my hand.
Yeah.
What was even worse than that was having a camera on one of those fast roller coasters with the loops,
Ah.
because they say no cameras. I can see why, because the G's.
Yeah.
I did take out my camera and I got a really good picture at Six Flags on one of those. And it took everything I had to keep that thing in my hand. It was probably dumb to do that, but I got a great
Yeah.
picture. I don't know if that place exists, the Six Flags over Atlanta, if it's still there.
Yeah, a lot of them closed down. I don't know if
Yeah.
the Six Flags out here is still going.
That was a neat amusement park, really neat. It's one of the neatest ones I ever gone to. Let me see, Six Flags. Yeah, there's Six Flags over Georgia. Doesn't say it's gone. Yeah, I guess it's still there. Neat place. She said, that's pretty cool. Nothing wrong with being sentimental. Well, that's why we're here, is to be mental.
Ah.
We're all mental patients.
Yeah. Yeah, I bring in our doggy here, but he's too big and heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Too busy.
Get him. Is he
Woofing
like,
with the neighbors?
you got to put him up on the camera sometime, or is he too big for that?
Yeah, no, well, if you picture a black lab, except he's got like Great Dane legs, just like a super tall black lab.
Mm.
And he whoofs
Oh,
at
this is
everything,
fine.
and he likes to sing along with the train horn, the train whistle. Ooh. Or if there's an ambulance that goes by, he likes to sing along with the ambulance. Ooh.
Captain's got this thing where if it's thundering, he'll have to find a closet and pull everything out of the closet, all the blankets, everything. I saw just before we did our show, I was watching something. It was Roger Waters saying one time he was in a department store, or he was in some store, and Sid Barrett was in there.
Ah.
I said, I guess that's the only time he'd ever seen him since when he showed up when they were doing Shine on Crazy Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
And they asked if he, made contact. He says he doesn't think that he saw him there, but he was buying sweets, like he was living on sweets. Interesting. Maybe if I'd have gone crazy like that. Roger said it wasn't just the drugs. He says he thought he was like getting schizo, and then the drugs just exacerbated it.
Ah.
Like he said, LSD or whatever is terrible for somebody has like mental issues that just
Oh,
totally.
yeah.
So
What
I didn't
was
know
funny
that.
is
But he was
LSD, when it first came out, they thought it was going to be used to treat people, and it's like, no, it didn't work out too well
well,
because it wasn't
somebody
even
did.
illegal to begin with.
Well, there's like there was a big star, like not Jimmy Stewart, but there was one of those guys, one of those old time. It might have been Clark Gable. It was one of those guys that was taking that under a doctor prescription or something, and was very for it. That it helped him immensely with whatever problem he had. So I think possibly it could work for the same way I guess pot could work for somebody that's got like very chronic pain ailments and stuff. But
is that the ibogaine that they're doing now? Is that what it's called?
what is that?
It's a hallucinogenic, and it puts you on a bad trip for like 24 hours. It's supposed to be completely miserable hell, but it rewires your brain and cures
Oh.
addictions and cures PTSD, and it walks you through you have hallucinations of all the traumatic things in your life, but it kind of walks you through it from a third person perspective where you get a better view of it, and it isn't a problem anymore. So they're
Isn't that
doing
what
experiments.
Scientology was? The
Yeah.
Dianetics thing, kind of.
No,
So
yeah, they were just you talk and keeps telling them over and over and give them all your money.
give Tom Cruise all your money.
Yeah.
Well,
But
they
that
had
other
the what are
other
they called?
stuff sounds promising.
Nanites or thetans or something like that.
Oh,
You get
thetans, yeah.
thetans in your guts or whatever.
Yeah. Tell you because they threw him in a volcano.
Oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, whatever works. Some of those, when I had those gummies, I'd seen some weird things. It doesn't, it's not too much hallucin. There was one time I saw what seemed like kind of dancing mushrooms on the top of the vine bush, but that was just only like a half a second. Uh, to me, to me it takes you more to an almost. Do you ever have a really good dream and they're kind of, even though it could just be a regular place, it's more surreal and fun and neat, and the memory's kind of neat of it. It kind of,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it kind of brings me a little there.
Ah,
So it's kind of like that part of it.
I wish I had more dreams like that. Mine are mostly annoying.
I don't get them often, but maybe once every month or two, I'll have a neat one and I'll write it down. Sometimes they end up in the movies. It's amazing, like the
Oh,
last
okay.
two movies, how many dreams ended up there. The Bridge Junkyard was a dream, and the water globe, the hologram globe, was in the same dream as
Oh,
the Junkyard Bridge. It was like I went to the
okay.
junkyard with the bridges, and I ran across the Paseo Bridge, and all the towers and the lattice were swaying when I ran across, just like the movie. And then the next
Oh,
thing I went over the hill and there was a hotel with this hologram globe. It was all part of that dream, and I put it in the film. So it's like,
ah,
so I don't know
okay.
if something like that could even exist, but it worked in the film, you know. Uh,
That's the main thing. Yeah, my dreams, I don't know. I always I always seem to get those dreams where I've really got to do something and take care of something and something's pressing and I got to
Got to
mess
build a
with it and I
log
got to do this
cabin.
and that. And
Yeah.
then I wake up and it's like, oh, crap, it was a dream. I don't have to do any of that shit.
Yeah, I get those. Sometimes, a lot of times it's something to do with a car. Like I think one time I had a dream where I'd taken the Scion to South Florida to visit Deb, and it was in like a parking garage. And when I came back, like all that it was stripped, and all that was left was like the steering wheel and this part of the frame or something. It was so depressing. I'm like, how am I
Yeah.
gonna get home? And this, and then you wake up, it's like, phew, you know.
Yeah.
And then you get the opposite. You get like a real good dream. I get dreams that they're more and more reoccurring with dad in them, and sometimes mom and grandma, but they're like so. It's like dad's here, you know. I need to go help him turn the truck around because it's kind of on the freeway.
Um,
He needs to help me turn the truck around, and it's you know it's like they're not even. I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
just mundane kind of.
Yeah, almost mundane, but it's like I still know that he's here only for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And I know that he's passed away and he's coming to visit, but I need to go help him turn the truck around. But there's no like, oh my God, Dad's, you know, there's nothing. I need to
Yeah.
tell him,
It's
I need to
never like
show him
that.
my movie. Yeah.
That's always the way it is for me. If my mom or dad are in a dream, it's just matter of fact. They're there. I don't flip
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I had one recently where I was wanting to show him the movie. I'll have those, you know, I want to show Dad the movie. He hasn't seen it yet. Stuff like that. But other than that, I think I wonder if that means that maybe when we're in that unconscious state, we're kind of close to heaven and we can actually, uh, maybe they are kind of there. I don't know. Maybe that's why it doesn't seem so surreal.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd like to think. I had one recently where, oh, I got to tell you this before we go. Um, like Grandma Catherine got a new house somewhere, and I guess it was either in Missouri or Florida or something. And I was going up the stairs, and there was this panel, a stairway panel, and I needed to get ready to go with Mom. She bought this big 70s Oldsmobile, and we were going to drive it to Colorado. So evidently, we were visiting Grandma who lived east. But I pulled up a panel in the staircase, like one of the steps, and there was a whole, like a velvet red staircase, a spiral staircase underneath with like some debris on it. And I kind of looked down and it went down to a whole new, like big living room. but it was like ghostly. It was like forgotten. And I crawled down to this place, this dusty place, and there were these guitars still in their cases on this like a bench and different things going on. Like there was a band down here that was practicing in like the 70s or 80s or something. And then neat. That was just like last week I had that dream. Yeah.
No, that's kind of a theme in my dreams too. There's like I'll discover something and then it's this whole secret area will open up.
Yeah, I like those. Or finding a new house, I'm moving in. I don't know. I like those kind of dreams. Even though my bedroom, whatever ends up my bedroom, it's almost like the back rooms. It's this big room, but there's like almost no window, and it's this kind of beige and very depressing. It's bright though, but it's depressing, but it's big. And I keep thinking, well, I can put like a thing here with all my papers. So I'm still in the mindset that I'm drawing all these books and drawing papers like I did when I was 12 for some reason. It's this weird, and it's a reoccurring dream. And instead of like, let me set my music equipment up here and my drum set, it's all my car papers, drawings and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening. It's not fair. Anyway, that's all. I guess. Thank you for hanging out with us, Wendy.
Yeah.
And Kendra and Lewis, if you're still here, but I don't think you're all still here. So,
Well, we got a couple people watching.
Good night, everybody.
Well, night, Darren. Thanks for sticking with us, even though you're
Yeah.
tired. Everyone else kind of left.
And
So,
thanks, Doggy, for guest starring.
yeah, she's a good guest star. She's like doing a pose for us, or he is.
I can show you his wiener if you don't.
Well,
believe it.
I corrected myself and said he. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, take care, fellers, and I'll see you Saturday, Darren. Get your model ready. I might pick it up and I'll Saturday, and I'll give you the dragonflies.
Sounds good. Are you okay with just the body?
Yeah, that's all I need. I just need the basic shape. In fact, that's better because windows, they just don't do well.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, as long as you're okay with me spraying chalk on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Take care, fellers. See you, Wendy.
Bye, everybody. Bye.